Go and subscribe, you shit. Hey meow, what's up? Good morning. Good, happy weird Wednesday stream. Vin. Let's get to it. Wait, actually, I do need to. Let's do that. Thank you. And present. Look who's back. Back again. Finally back. Here's my entire screen. Also share system audio. You guys can hear everything. Whoopsie. Okay. Screen one. There you go. I'm rather unpredictable, I would say. I'm sorry that I'm. Wait. Hump Day debate diagram. Let's go! I hope that you could actually hear me yell. Thank you for that, JMac. Hold on, we need to do this. Not private chat banners. Hello, where is my chat? Comments. It's not showing my comments, but I need to, so I can highlight your message because it's Hump Day. Hold on. Take away. There it is. Wee-hoo! Thank you, Dada JMac, for that. I am on time, even Gray. Can you believe it? I'm on time and actually here. And I know that means I know that I wasn't supposed to be here for this time, but whatever. I'm just so glad that you guys are here. And I'm glad that you heard me yell at JMac. Straight. So I'm here. Yes, I guess I'm straight. Sorry for you guys. The secret's out. I'm straight. Okay. So I'm trying to do something a little different. Well, a little as Andrew suggested, having the transcript findable, like searchable over here, might help us. But remember, we are not diagramming the exact conversation. That isn't what we're going to go through for the Jubilee thing. And we're doing the Jubilee thing, okay? So I might not end up using this transcript much. Get it? But yeah, we're just going to map the ideas. And this will be like my third trip through this, journey through this. So it will be quite interesting, I would say. I'll let us watch the intro bit. Oh, also just in terms of the way I've structured what I've done here, just this has been 3 weeks in the making. Can't believe how long it's been. But anyway, I'm trying to, based on a little bit of what we did when we look back at my old diagrams, let's try and bring some of the other stuff back, where we use the shape of things to denote what denote some sort of meaning. So subject is a circle or an oval. Argument will get like 2. So it's like, here is my argument. And we do want to do premise and conclusion to try and break those up. That's what I do want to try to bring about, to clarify from these conversations. So let's see how that goes. And then commentary, I'll be putting that in. Also, in terms of commentary, this is also something in terms of what I will be rating them as. Because remember, earlier on in the previous debate diagrams, I actually rated some things. There were some debates that I actually was able to rate certain things about people's arguments and what they did. So for the whole debate, I am going to talk about the arguments that were brought around. Like, think about, okay, how are they? How were they presented? Were they good? Were they bad? Evidence, what evidence was brought up, if any? And then I'm going to rate the interaction, how it goes. And there is so much bitchiness in this freaking interaction. So I don't know what we're going to, out of what, whether a high rating of interaction is good or bad. It's actually like, I don't rate this very well. Anyway, just finished pumping my quads, ready to pump my lobes. Nice, Jay. It's got a good pump going. I didn't do any pumping today. I'm sorry, but I did yesterday. So there we go. But I remain inspired by JMac, like everyone else should. Okay. So yeah, this is I've put a little thing. Here's the link to the video. So when I share the diagram link, you'll be able to just go and see it. So it's another little thing I wanted to keep, is like, this is the video from which all of this diagram comes. And then I went through earlier on. I went through and found luckily there are chapters you can see where prompts are. But I did put the times at which these prompts come. And we'll see how far. I think we probably only get through one prompt today, which would be quite typical. But your one prompt is about 15 minutes. So let's see. Also, I'll just go through the intro, just because I want to give you, if you haven't seen this episode of Jubilee Middle Ground, I want you to get an idea of what this episode is like, because of course they do the highlights. So here we go.
Being a non-binary person that sometimes has the choice to either go into a men's restroom looking like this. So you can look at me.
It's just interesting. I thought this was a trans debate. That's what I thought.
Non-binary people fall under the trans umbrella. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you could educate yourself a little bit on that.
I think I could educate you.
Then you would figure out,
you
know, what reality is.
Whoa. Drama. This is also one of the reasons that I wanted to do this. Obviously, I always wanted to do a middle ground episode, because it's kind of debatey. There's this is versus this. Of course, I had to at some point get into a Jubilee debate, but the reason I stayed away from them is usually they're cut to pieces, so you don't really get to follow the arguments very well. It has been suggested that I just note where a cut is. There are cuts that I probably would miss because I'm just not that keen. I don't have that keen of an eye to notice exactly when cuts are, and especially it's just like, oh, they just changed the angle. It's not that a whole ass 20 minutes of discussion was taken out. But yes, we are going to just watch the cuts that they've given us here. They are they've done it very, very cleverly. They've got prompts that they've put behind a paywall, behind their Patreon. So if you're interested in the prompts that we don't get to properly in this video, go and have a look at Jubilee Middle Ground. They've done a good job there. There was drama in this, as you could see, and I'm a fan of Blair White, so I was quite excited to see how this went. And she encountered some shit with basically with Blossom, mostly with Blossom in this interaction. But you saw her interaction there with a non-binary trans person. That's a thing. So we'll go for that. The stream should be anabolic. Oh, well done, great. Okay, so I hope the volume's okay. Everything is fine. How's the volume compared to me? Maybe it's a bit loud. No, it's fine. It should be fine. So the whole premise here is we have conservative trans people and liberal trans people. So it's like, yay, there are conservative voices within the trans community. And just get over me saying trans and trans, because that's going to happen in between. I'm going to be South African and then try and be American, and then just, I'm sorry. So yeah, we've obviously got Blair on the side of the conservative trans people, and then we've obviously got Blossom. That's why if you look at the thumbnail, we've got Blossom and Blair, because they get at each other. Everybody on the liberal side really hates Blair. She's the bane of their existence. They think she's I'm trans American, yes. They think she's the devil, and she's not. She's actually quite a good voice of reason. But anyway, we'll get into it. We'll talk about what they're thinking about her, because they let us know how much they do not like her. And then another person I recognized was actually an actor who was in Shameless. I didn't realize that he was in this until my third watch today. Anyway, so let us continue. At first, I think they'll let's hear what the middle ground people have to say.
It is a safety concern for trans women to share a female restroom.
Okay, so that's the first prompt. It's a safety concern for trans women to share a female restroom. But they introduce their whole Patreon thing here.
Can the agreeers please step forward?
And then they go,
Before we begin this episode, we know there's been a lot of anticipation for this topic.
That is why we're excited to release an extended cut of this episode featuring all prompts on our Middle Ground Patreon.
This is something that you guys have been asking us about for.
It is quite interesting that I don't know if they did this with other things, but Blair, before they released this, was saying that they're going to cut it to shit. It's like 4 hours, and then they're going to put it into an hour and a half long video. So all of the middle ground is usually cut to pieces. So now they've done the extended. I don't know. Disclaimer: I don't know if they've done it before, but this is a very good one to do it on. The extended cuts available on Patreon. It seems like this is the first time they're doing it. That's why they have this little thing that says, "Oh, you guys, you can have the extended cuts," because there was lots of controversy beforehand, where Blair's like they cut it all to pieces, and she didn't say, "Oh, it's going to be shit." She just said, "It would be interesting to see how they do it," and they changed the order and everything. You can see that one of her bits of her feedback was that they put more contentious prompts in first, so you could see that their interaction had become a bit more intense at certain parts, but then they go backwards in time. So yeah, anyway, we could go on and do maybe in the last part of this, when I do finish this, because we will, we'll have a look at what Blair said, because she gives a kind of a recap, and also gives us her commentary on how it actually went. Anyway, there's enough here for us to go through. So yeah, they go and they're like, "Oh, you can go in the Patreon, so go and get
For years, and we're excited to finally be able to do it. And when you support our Patreon, you help us to make Middle Ground a show that truly provokes understanding. And
okay, the reason I wanted to watch this is because I wanted to be like, really? You really just try and keep this in mind. I want you guys to come with me thinking that this is about what? Fostering understanding and human connection.
and creates human connection.
And that is
And you help us to make Middle Ground a show that truly provokes understanding and creates human connection.
the point of Middle Ground. So now let's get into the video.
Do they really do that? Let's see.
Forward.
Oh,
It depends.
yes. So I think
So our first answer is it depends. Okay, so this is the Conservatives have come through, and they have agreed that it is a safety concern for trans women to share a female restroom. Okay.
I think that to start it off, though, too, is it's not necessarily saying that trans women, it all comes down to self-ID. When we moved into a self-ID process, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of men just simply self-IDing into being trans women to utilize the female restroom and to harm women.
Or
That's the
just
biggest thing.
So I actually did put the agrees as well. You can see there's these little notes here. actually put the transcript in here to show where it came from. I was able to just copy paste and put them in here. So the timestamps are still in the way, so it is kind of but yeah, I just thought this could be another way of us getting through, structuring it a little bit, that we keep the video along with us, but at the same time we extract the ideas. So I have the transcript here and here. I know it's two places. Let's see. The thing is, I need to have it searchable on the right hand side, and then I need to be able to type extra stuff on the left. So the point is, this is now a reference for Gordon. Did you guys hear Gordon farting? Really, Gordon? Anyway, I don't know. They probably wouldn't hear that, but they heard me yell at you, which is what you wanted, hey? Okay. Anyway, I lost viewers because of your fart. Okay. Yeah, so this is a reference. When you go to the link for the diagram, you'll be able to see the transcript alongside. So that's fine. Just letting you guys know what that is. So with the on the agree people side, we have just had one person bringing here and say it depends, which is, yes, depends on what. Obviously they elaborate. It's not, okay, cool, all trans women need to be kicked out of the female restroom. It's actually self-ID. It's a self-ID. I will actually say not trans women that are the problem. It's not necessarily saying that trans women comes to self-ID. So exactly. That one was weak, Gordon. Weak. Thank you, Galente. Not trans women. Trans women on the problem. Women aren't the problem. That's actually the conclusion. Well, okay, we can just say this is the argument. Okay, we'll put it, yeah, literally argument. We can put it the copy style. The argument is it's not trans women that are the problem. And the reason for this is we go premise set self-ID. Self-ID is the problem. A lot of men just simply self-IDing into being trans women to utilize the female restroom and to harm women. Yeah, is the problem. So that would be a premise. Self-ID is the problem. Okay, so the conclusion they actually haven't come to yet. Self-ID is the problem. Men doing it. I'll just say men. Aroused and harm women. Okay, so that's the perspective that they're doing. Okay, continue.
Be there. They're getting arousal from just being there.
You know, there's a photo or it was a video that went viral, I think like just 2 weeks ago, with some like whole man with a boner in the women's restroom. And there's just some poor woman filming it. Like, am I just supposed to like accept that this is here? So I think there's levels to it. I think that trans women who are actually trans, you know, we're talking gender dysphoria, transitions, making the effort, you know, probably once you reach a certain point in your transition where you can actually assimilate within that space and not cause a disruptance, that would probably be the ideal time to start doing that, right? Whereas, you know,
actual trans women aren't a problem. And then also over here, once you reach a certain point in your transition where you actually assimilate with that space and not cause a disruptance. So yeah, you you transition to a point of into that space, without causing a disturbance. She said disruptance disturbance. It's funny how she's sitting higher on the left and wearing dark colors versus light, 3 large contrasts. Oh, by the way, I think they did say that they weren't supposed to wear black, and I don't know why she wore black. She didn't do it on purpose. So yeah, she's but also yeah, she does sit pretty. But yeah, we'll have a look maybe maybe on a Thursday or something at Blair's response, just to what she thought and her experience of this, because this was proper. There was some violence threatened. Okay, anyway, yeah, without causing a disturbance into the space without causing a disturbance, that would probably be ideal times to do it. Cross-dresser. So this, okay, here, cross-dresser. Let's go here.
A cross-dresser who is emboldened to, in this current climate, say that they're trans, because now anything is trans if you say so, that person should probably stay absolutely out of women's restrooms, because you're there to get your rocks off and the women are there to take a poop and a pee. So it's not the same.
One of my things over here is that Blair was totally going to say the women are there to take a dump. But I don't know why she stayed away from it. She said, a poop and a pee. Maybe she was trying to be nice, but I was just like, yeah, they're there to take a dump. Although that they pretend they're not. Hi, Cam. So yeah, just listen to this. Do you guys think that Blair was gonna say take a dump?
I really are there to take a poop and a pee in women's restrooms,
Take a
because
shit.
you're there to get your rocks off and the women are there to take a poop and a pee. So it's not the same. And I really empathize.
She's just being so nice. Anyway, cross-dressers are emboldened to enter to ID as trans and enter women's spaces. Okay. Oh yeah. What did we say was evidence? Oh no, evidence is just is something that we will rate it on. But I do want to say she brings up an example, so let's maybe give it a shape. So evidence. Let's give evidence. What evidence does shape? What shape is evidence? Is it this, like a little ticket? Yeah, it'll be a little ticket. Okay. So she calls this a whole man. What did she say? Went viral, I think, like 2 weeks ago. Some whole man with a boner. Okay. Whole man with a boner. A viral video. Someone say viral video. What are they doing up there? Galente said that was a weak fart. Square with flat corner, like the file folder. Square with flat corner. Oh, this one over here, like a file. Okay, yeah. Okay, Cameron, let's do that. I like that because it's a file. We don't just have post-its. It's a file. It's a whole ass file. You're right. Ta-da! Yeah. Okay, so a viral video of a whole man with a boner in the ladies' room. Woman filming just has to deal with it. I shall go disappear. Okay, thanks, bye, Carl. He became suddenly opinionated about it. I asked you to have an opinion. Thank you for following the instruction. Let's go. Then there you go. So viral video, whole man with a boner in the ladies' room. Cool. That was the thing. Cross-dressers emboldened in this current climate to say that they're trans. So have we anywhere here have we said that trans people, real trans women are a problem? No, we're saying that self-ID is the problem. It's there's no gatekeeping of who is actually trans for real and who is between these cross-dressers and the actual trans people. Okay, because like you would find it would be insulting for somebody to call Blair White a cross-dresser. You're not just cross-dressing, honey, sweetie, baby child. You are properly a trans person. Anyway, now they're gonna bring up something else, but I think they're not done for a while before the disagreeers come through. Just hold on.
As with women who, have an issue with it. And I can probably hear some women commenting, well, how do I know the difference between a fetishist and a real trans person? It's hard. It's hard.
Okay, she does admit, yeah, and this is possible middle ground. This is possible middle ground where she's like, I can hear women saying, how do I know women? Well, let's just say it's difficult for women to distinguish between a cross-dresser, what they call orthogynephilic I think it's AGP, between AGP cross-dresser and between cross-dresser and trans women. She will, that is a possible middle ground. So what do you do with that? What do you do with that? Because she's not saying this means it's easy, that it's just like, okay, well, fine, then all of them out. How do we know? So let's see what she says over here. It's hard when it's fetishist. Hey, Benjamin, how you doing? Blair proved she was a woman when she got in that cat fight with Candace Owens. There is prejudgment of ideology, though. Well, what prejudgment? Well, put that in context for me. Prejudgment in terms of they've said these are all the you are given the conservative ideology, therefore the prejudgment has happened. But yeah, what I was also going to say is well, she will bring it up just now, but Blair did go into the men's bathroom a couple years back, and that did not go well. She was kicked out of the establishment because she's not a man. Okay, that it just did not work. She was making people uncomfortable. She brought up this idea of assimilation, of not causing a disturbance. She caused a disturbance when she went into the male bathroom. Yes, she has the equipment between the legs and all of that, but everything else signals the other thing. So it just didn't make sense for her to be doing that, and people got uncomfortable. I'm not sure what term to use, but I've seen videos of very wholesome people with AGP struggling against their minds and trying to win, like inspirios. Could you put that on the in the Discord somewhere, so I can go and look at it? Starting with that other idea that self-ID is bad. I agree, but it is good too. It's good to acknowledgement. I think it would be good if they understand that self-ID, they need to speak more about self-ID, as in everybody does have to self-ID. That nobody goes, oh, okay, takes the people don't find out they're trans from other people. Know what you mean? But when they are referring to self-ID here, they're talking about people that just use this to their advantage. I think it's very easy to understand that they're just trying to say, yeah, it's because people literally just, haha, I can do it. I can just put myself, yeah, I'm a woman. No. That's what they should be gatekeeping, and that's the problem. They're saying that nobody's gatekeeping that. Same for cross-dressers, like saying the problem is AGP cross-dresser versus the problem being pervert. Well, yeah, okay, then you would say let's add more resolution to that, Cameron. So here, I will say, okay, for you, Cameron, let's add more. Let's add more. What do you call it? Definition to this, and actually say AGP itself not the problem, but perverts the problem. Because you having that is not a problem for sure, but you going and literally thrusting it upon people, that's not okay. So we understand, I guess, geez, this is actually kind of like being put to the question. So you have to be very careful. That's, you kind of went and took the uncharitable position there, as if they wouldn't, they are saying AGB people are abominations. It's literally in this context that they're doing that. What do you call it? That they're saying it's a problem. But this is good to specify. They should have done that. You're right, because somebody could easily jump on that and say you're shaming. Works. Same for cross-dressers. Yeah, anyway, cool. So I'll just also say this just makes sure there isn't room for you're just a prude. Or shaming. I'm gonna put this here, me. Good day. This clarification. Okay. Cool. But the point is that what they're actually focused on is women here. They're like, it makes women uncomfortable. So there's, yes, it's difficult for women to distinguish between AGB, or cross-dress, and trans women. Look, is the person making you uncomfortable? Are they being in your space? Are they a pervert? Then they can, then that's a problem. That's as far as I would take it. I really, like, if I saw one of these people here says she doesn't pass, and actually it's like, yeah, you would know, but that doesn't mean that you would suddenly go, oh my god, you actually, there's nothing wrong with that. I guess there are people that are like, oh my god, there is an actual penis in the vicinity, that means there is a problem. But yeah, if that person showed up in the bathroom, I would have no problem with them, because you can actually see. And I wouldn't know, I guess if they're not doing anything, if people are in the bathroom and not doing anything to you, it does not actually matter. But it is a safety concern when there isn't enough societal pressure keeping the cross-dresser kind of predatory people out. That's what they're saying. There's not enough of that, which, yeah, I suppose in some places there is.
However, that's the only nuance that I know to give to it, which is there's different reasons people are trans, and some people really are trans because they're horny, and some people are trans because they really felt that way from, a young age or whatever.
See, I agree to an extent.
So she's now saying, she has brought this thing, this is quite a big thing that she's saying. Instead of actually saying there are two, right now there are actually two different kinds of trans people. Instead, she said that some people are trans for certain reasons. So that could be taken completely the wrong way, because she's saying, oh well, there's people that are trans because they're horny. That wouldn't be a trans person. It would be somebody who is calling themselves trans. for that reason, but I think it's just a manner of speaking. Something Kitty might not be aware of is North American public bathrooms are a nightmare compared to most other countries. Our doors are about 3 feet tall and have 2-inch gaps on all sides. All sides? I know there's gaps underneath toilets. That's what we've heard. But this way, that's shit. Okay. It's difficult for cross-dressing and trans women. So she says some people are trans because they're horny. This is others because they are dysphoric. Okay, I'm going to attribute that to Blair because it is quite a specific one, and I don't think it would work. And I think somebody will speak against it. Ew, it's not uncommon to make contact with others while sitting on the toilet. Well, then fucking fix your toilets, America! What the fuck, dude? Privacy! I don't give a shit if it is a woman or a man or whatever. You know, if I'm taking a piss, I don't want anyone to be able to see me, and I don't care what genitals they have. Could we not have that? Why is that a thing? Hello, Sugar Plum Lucy, who is not a lemon bug. Lucy, have you lately made eye contact with someone in your American bathroom? Toilet, I mean. Ugh. That's fucking bullshit. Jesus. I've never had that experience even once. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I'm glad it's not that common then, Andrew. Please. Okay, wait. I'm gonna say, not that I can. Okay, wait. Let me add a. Can I not do a poll? Let me do a poll. Have you made eye contact with someone in a stall? In a closed stall. Well, yeah. Yes. Give me yes. I'm disturbed. You know, I'm just gonna say yes. No. Okay. I'll leave that on for a while. Yeah. Then you haven't lived. Shut up, Cameron. You've never glanced accidentally at someone while looking for a free stall? Oh my god. Like, so you can still see inside a stall? No. My daughter has been in with me, crawled under and peeked at people though. Okay. Yeah, under, I understand, but that, like, if you're walking past and you are normal human eye level and you land up seeing somebody on the loo, that is a problem. Do I answer it? Do I answer if not American? No, answer if you're answer no matter where you are from. Because my answer is I didn't have it either. And I mean, like, from the sides, I understand that I think you might even be able to see the top of people's heads if they're standing in the loo at school. I was able to see them if they stood. But that's it. Yeah, I guess I've looked to see if stalls are available and made eye contact. No, but how? How? Like, with somebody in the stall? They're on the seat. And you made eye contact with them sitting on the seat. Please, that's what I'm saying here. Guys, that's a problem. There is a public problem in America. Ryan George has a great video about it. Okay, listen, we will watch a Ryan George video. Just hold up.
This video is sponsored by Skillshare. More about them at the end of the sketch. All right, gentlemen, let's talk design. These new public bathrooms, they're gonna need to be able to accommodate several people at the same time. Oh, interesting. Oh. Okay, I don't like how that guy said, oh. We said the same thing. So I'm thinking, you know, individual areas where people can do their business. Any thoughts? Well, obviously, privacy is an important thing to consider.
Yes.
Doors and walls for the individual areas. Yeah, that sounds good. And maybe we start the door about 2 feet off the ground so you see people's legs. What? And their underwear around their ankles, depending on what they're doing in there. Why would we? Well, yeah, then I guess you could see which spots are occupied. That's true.
No.
Okay, why don't we just have a thing where when the door's locked, it's red and it says occupied, and if nobody's in there, it's green and it's vacant. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Or we just go with the idea of seeing people's bare legs and their feet and their underwear around their ankles. Yeah.
This is the problem.
Guess it's between those two ideas. Why? No. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't see what's wrong with my idea where you'll look at people's feet. Okay, a second.
Like, that's just the feet part, and that's like But now you guys are talking about side things. That's what Cameron has revealed to me.
Ago you said see people's feet, and now you're saying look at. That basically means the same thing.
No,
The second one's creepier in this context. It is. See people's feet, get to look at people's feet. It's the same thing. Oh, he said get to this time. This is a weird guy to have on this project. Okay, let's keep this meeting rolling. What other ideas do we have here? Well, obviously, I think we should go with the same idea at the top, you know, just a ton of open space. Okay, here's the problem with that. Some people are tall. Yes, it'll be kind of like an honor system, you know, don't peek in. What? I give them the option. Could be good for air circulation. Sometimes people drop stinkers. Sometimes people drop stinkers. Exactly. So with that in mind, 20% of the door should just be missing. I
20% of the door.
would just love if people had some privacy.
Thank you.
That is an important point. You know, privacy is important. We can definitely install some kind of locking mechanism, you know? Yeah, I do think that's a good idea. Do you? Yeah, of course. You know, just like a little flimsy lock, of course. What? Just a little lock that doesn't lock? Sure. Yeah, sounds good. Wait, no.
Yeah, those locks just always break.
Oh, so one vote for no lock. Interesting pivot. No, I do want a lock. I already wrote you down for no. No, look, I think we all agree
He ruined it.
there should be locks on the doors, right? And I think it's reasonable to say that they should work 10% of the time. This guy's
10%. Exactly. It is 10%.
definitely intending to barge in on people. Well, I won't have to if I can get a little glimpse of people's feet
Oh
and
my
their underwear. Oh, does nobody hear how creepy that sounds? Well, okay, let's consider this. What if somebody's in trouble in there? I need to be able to break that door open easily. That's a good point. Safety. Okay, counterpoint. It's weird that you're specifying that you would be the one to break it open. I need to be
Literally, you could just go like there is a little knob thing that you could.
able to get in there fast. Hey, what about the spot where the door closes? What are we thinking for that area? Oh, yeah. Wait, why even discuss this? Just have it shut tightly.
Thank you.
Okay, good option. Well, okay, here's what I'm thinking on that point. That should have a big gap too. Nope. How big of a gap you thinking? Just off the top of my head, just spitballing here, maybe about this size. Oh, he looked through the gap. Why did he look through the gap? Okay, let's shift focus here. What about another area for, you know, non-seated business? Sometimes people don't drop stinkers. Sometimes people don't drop stinkers. Okay, so I guess I'd suggest little stations for standing business lined up on a wall. I think that's a fantastic idea. They should have proper spacing, obviously. Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, man, I mean, of course, and just to be clear, by proper spacing, I mean close enough to touch elbows and sneak a peek. Okay.
Jeez. Why have I never thought about this before? Because this is disgusting. How is this? America, you are the world leaders in so many ways, but this way you have failed. Why? What is wrong with you? Of all things, okay? I can understand a little bit the air clearance with 20% of the door needs to be missing, but they don't close properly. It saves, I suppose it saves on building materials. Get the fuck out. Jesus. So because Cameron's discussion over here is that there is there is. He's literally has made eye contact, and Lucy did say that did happen. There has been eye contact with people as you're looking for a stall. You should not be able to see into a stall if it's occupied, sweetie baby child. Okay. This is not a trans issue. That is just a human issue. I'm not taking a pee or a poop where you can sit and watch me. Not a fuck. Jesus. What the hell, America? North Americans just have honor. What? And they don't look at each other? Oh, that's what he meant? Yes, that's happened to me. You can see people that. My point is, can you see the people while they're on the pooper? Let me. Have you seen someone? Let me end the poll. Hold on. I'll do it again. Yes. Oh, have you seen someone on the pooper? Have you been able to see a person's face while they're on a public pooper toilet with the door closed? Pooper toilet with door closed. There. It's not a large gap. Don't worry. You can vote now. People looking for stalls sometimes make eye contact. It's not intentional, but it happens. The fact that you can see. Oh my God. Oh, that is America. What's wrong with you? Why? Like, I can understand space at the top and space at the bottom, air, all of that, whatever, cool. Let's pretend sideways. That's a long bit of door that you like this, okay? It's like this. You can see through that. No, exactly like the guy said. He's like, oh, he put his eye through. No, I'm upset. I only learned this was weird when I got to Europe. Oh, did you feel too private when you got to Europe? You were like, oh my God, nobody can see me pee and poo. I usually peek in and say, hey, one or two. Like looking for a stall. I've done that where I knock or like I've been embarrassed and sorry. That's it. And I think maybe when I was a kid at school, you would look because some of the doors would say it's open, but the door would be closed. So you would look to see if there's feet and then or shoes, and that's it. It's a security thing. People can't be trusted, hiding to do bad things, and homeless people camping on. It was so lonely. Okay, I'm just gonna put a note here. Now I'm reminded of the meme with the guy peeing in the urinal and the group of people coming towards him, just absorbing him. What? Okay, I'm just gonna put here general commentary. WTF America, your public bathroom or toilets are exhibitionists. What's with the visibility? The visibility. Okay. It's weird that in Canada Mexican all do it. Why? What is wrong with all of you? I usually sneak into the employee bathroom, so it's not an issue. You see, because you have privacy. My God. Like you can have the bottom open and still keep people out from there. You can have the bottom open. That I can understand, but the sides, Sides open. What is with the side visibility? Like, you should not be able to see my whole ass toilet. You know. We are not making the case for Kitty to come to visit America. Not a fuck. I'm not gonna ever. I'll just go to America and just never pee there. This is how us North Americans will separate the weak from the strong. I'm properly privileged. I've now decided, because even in South Africa there are better public bathrooms. I'm amazed. Go to South Africa. That's insane. Okay, back to it. What's with the side visibility? So the point is, overarching, anyone can expect that level of privacy. Anyone should be able to expect the level of privacy that they can literally have a poop face on and ain't nobody gonna see them. That's what America should be about. You should be able to poop in peace. And that is it. But you might want to play with your poop buddy. You know, you see, like, the joke is that, you know, from the side, on the side of the stall, you say, oh, do you have toilet paper? That whole thing. That's fine. That's a thing. We get it. And, like, sometimes you could see someone's handbag or whatever. Or even their feet next to you. But being able to see somebody's face, control their poop techniques. What do you mean? Like, according to what somebody they have a coach on the outside going, and no, I'm against it. For security, to easily see if there's people in the stalls without checking each one. It also allows for people to share the toilet paper. Again, why we don't need the door the long way to have space then. We don't need that. Literally going like this and seeing feet is okay. As opposed to, I can see your eyeballs. No. America. Are you okay? Jesus. So, okay. Anyway, I'm done. Excellent poop drop there, sir. A little soft, though. Get some more grain in your diet. You can't see people's face from the side. You misunderstood. You can't see anything other than feet from the side. I'm not worried about seeing people. But hearing the splash is the worst. No, wait, listen. He said he's made eye contact with people through this side thing. Okay, I'm gonna draw it. See if I can, like, literally, there is a block like this. Okay, that's the door. Okay, wait, no. This is the door. And this is the wall, basically. Okay, so the wall that keeps the door. Let's actually go like this. This is the wall, the stall side. There is space instead of it being like this. Okay? Instead of it being like this, it's like this. That, to me, no. Okay, so you got that with space there. No, that's not a thing. They might mean through a small gap, maybe. It's not too worried about. No, my incredibly distracting point being trans bathrooms are a bigger issue in North America than you might be aware. Yes, once the person is in the stall. The point is, are you like what? Like, I don't care once somebody is in the stall. They do what they need to do in there. Okay, poopmanship is necessary. The point is, you should, once you're in your stall, you should have privacy to yourself. Thank you very much. I don't know about urinals, enjoy urinals, whatever. Some people, yeah, I'm proud of men for being able to do urinals, but I don't see why men should be. It's just a space-saving thing. I don't see why men should be okay to piss in front of each other while women are like, ew, I would never piss next to another person. Yeah. It's okay for men to want privacy when they're holding their private bits. America. Get some help. Okay. Anyway. Point is, you should have privacy in the bathroom. Anyone should have privacy. Being in a woman's space, the point is that there are women that are all there. It is a place where you're vulnerable. You are a predator. You are vulnerable to a predator. Instead of the middle ground coming to the point of talking about the perverts, we stick on the trans issue. Who's trans and who isn't? So let's see.
Extent. Like when you go to transition, and this is a fairly universal experience, you know, once you get to a certain point of passing, that's about the time that you would start going into the other bathroom as opposed to not make the same sex uncomfortable.
There you go. So you see, there's even a point where you would make the same sex uncomfortable.
Once you reach that, you would universally extent. Like when you go to transition, and this is a fairly universal experience, you know, once you get to a certain point of passing, that's about the time that you would start going into the other bathroom as opposed to not make the same sex uncomfortable. Once you reach that point in your transition, a lot of things change, but you know, you start to see things from another perspective. You start to see things from the perspective of a cis person.
Yeah, because when you're passing, you are living in the world as that gender, and that actually then you start I would imagine you would start being uncomfortable as a trans man. Suddenly you would, oh, I'm in the wrong bathroom. When you walk in, if you walk as a trans man, if you walked into the girls' bathroom by mistake, you'd be like, oh, because socially you've moved into a different place. That's the whole point of transitioning. It's living in the other gender role and presenting as the other gender. It's not, yes, we don't need to go and see which bits and pieces you have underneath your pants. But if you look mostly like a man, that is how simple we are. Okay, mostly a man in there. That's the point he's making here. Blair, she couldn't go into the male bathroom because that's the extremist position. The extremist position is, oh, has penis, must go to penis room. And you're going to send Blair to the penis room. No, you're not. Trough urinals? Oh my god, trough urinals. I've seen them. I mean, I ain't been around. I've seen festivals where they kind of have just a place where you just collectively just go and pee. And you know what? No. You can have that. Okay? So yeah, the point is, let's see. Some people are trans because they're horny. This is Blair. I think that's probably going to become a triggering statement because now it's staying away. It's not identifying the pervert part of it. And let's go over here. And at a certain point in your transition, you go to a different bathroom, a different toilet to make your previous, make this. No, what am I trying to say? You make the opposite gender feel the same. But how did they say it? Fetishes, I have to go with it, but there's different reasons. Really wish young age, whatever I see, agree to extent. Like when you go to the transition, there's a fairly universal experience. You know, once you got to a certain point of your passing, that's about the time that you would start going into other bathroom as opposed to not make the same sex uncomfortable. The same sex. Make sure the same sex. Uncomfortable. This brings up the point of passing. And this concept of passing, they do not like. You'll see in the disagrees, they don't like the idea of passing when that is part of why you transition. It is to pass, which people want to deconstruct gender so that there's no transition, when actually you do want to be perceived as the other gender. You want to be a he when perceived, like just like any other person, any cis person. You want that experience. I did a lot of camping in school, and boys and girls weren't allowed to share tents. It wasn't based on sexual orientation, but stopping pregnancy. So penis room might be the same. Middle bar above a trench, basically. Oh, you just pee on a log. Okay.
Yeah.
And I actually offer some solutions to this because I believe the free market can handle all of this stuff, because in government-run and government-funded buildings, there should always be a third space for us to use. And I do. When I go to the Capitol and stuff like that, I always use third spaces. But I think that private property owners can make the rules for their establishment and figure out how to enforce those rules.
I mean, I wouldn't say third spaces for trans
Exactly.
people.
Like we're in a state right now.
So this is a solution brought up here. A free market solution. A third space. In government buildings. So there's this offshoot, a third space. Interesting. Okay. Government buildings, and then private establishments can do this. Rules. I'm going to put rules of their own. Okay, I like that idea.
We're in a state right now where you have to allow anybody to use whatever restroom they want.
If you're a decent human being, you do what causes the least disturbance. So, for example, I filmed a YouTube video a few years ago where I entered a men's restroom just because I was responding to comments who were like, well, maybe you should use a men's restroom if you really feel like the way you feel. And so I said, okay, let's do it. Let's put a camera. And I was kicked out within seconds of the entire establishment, and it was a whole ruckus. So that's what I mean by, if you're a decent person, you do what causes the least amount of problems for people around you. And
so it is about, let's put it over here. Point when you can simulate into a space without causing a disturbance. So this is, I'm going to bring this back here. It's Blair is saying, being a decent being using that would cause and that is not to say I don't think, and I think what the thing is, because she doesn't sacrifice at the altar of woke with every single fucking thing she says. She doesn't go, it is a horrible experience when you don't know which bathroom to go to, because she doesn't harp on that bit. Because it is, can you imagine? You don't know when this certain point in your transition is going to be when you're passable. Can you imagine that? I can't imagine that. When am I passable enough to do a certain thing? That is quite a huge anxiety-inducing experience. But that is not to say that now we need to change the entire society so that this can somehow happen less. It's not. It's still going to happen. What would just make it less problematic would be that third space. It would still be a problem because you would still have people being predators within the third space. Interesting. Okay, so hi. What? Oh, hello, Sparkles. I love your greeting for Lucifer. Okay. Cool. Free market solution. There we go. So let's see. Do what caused the least there's around you. And then here is an evidence thing as well. I'll put another evidence. Blair writes, Blair went to the guy's toilet and was asked to leave the restaurant because of it. Okay, let's do that. Now, did Blair go, I have a penis, I need to do that? No, Blair left. Because she's demonstrating that she has made this whole ass transition for a reason. For her to be able to go to the ladies. That's part of it. Okay.
And if you're, you know, a moral person, you're going to be conflict avoidant in general when it's something like that, right? It's like, what's the point of causing issues for anyone, especially if you're really just trying to pee,
Just put
get
your
it
head
done.
down, go in, get out.
Right.
Can the disagreeers please step forward?
So the disagree isn't just the disagree people speaking, right? But we will, so the disagree will get some disagree and then try and find the middle ground out of these two sections of conversation, because yeah, this is gonna carry on. Where are we? God, I'm Blossom's gonna get in on this and I'm gonna lose my shit.
I want to comment on Blair's point. The one
Like immediately they hate Blair, so of course they're gonna go. So yeah, Blossom, wee-hee, let's see Blossom, let's go.
thing I kept hearing through all of the nuance is passability.
Okay, I want to comment on Blair's point. Blair's point. Blair did not use possibility. Blair, yes, she is eventually she gets to the point where she's like, oh, well, I'm hearing about you. What you guys are talking about is possibility, which is true for sure. They are talking about possibility. They're talking about getting to a certain stage in your transition, which is possibility. But immediately she goes, I want to comment on Blair's point. That wasn't Blair's point. That was everyone's point. But she hates Blair so fucking much. And she needs to go, especially for Blair. And she goes, oh, but I'm doing it with so much grace and so much sweetness. I'm definitely not trying to go against Blair. I just hate Blair. So that's what she's doing. She goes immediately for Blair's point, which is not Blair's point. The person who brought up possibility was not Blair. But anyway, they are very jealous. Which I'm like, Blossom, have you seen your boobs? Don't be jealous. Maybe take the septum piercing out and you'll be fine.
Because ultimately, when we talk about passability, it determines how you get harassed in the bathroom.
Okay, there is a possible middle ground. When we're talking about possibility, it determines how you get harassed in the bathroom. Cool, how do we stop the harassment of anyone in the bathroom? Let's maybe try and jump onto that. No? Okay, cool. So let's continue. I'll let her finish and then I'll type what she said.
Because honestly, if you don't look so passable or whatnot, people are going to say, oh, that's a man with a dress on, and then there's going to be discourse.
Correct.
But the reality of it is, honestly, who cares who's trans and who's cis going in the bathroom? You should be minding your own business, being able to pee and do your business in peace for the most part. That conversation around this man with a boner on or whatever like that, I saw that.
I was okay until she went here.
That picture, and I thought to myself, that's really a right-wing talking point and conservative propaganda, because that's their ideology.
How is it?
When it comes to
Girl! Why? So she actually had found the middle ground where it's like, isn't it a problem that people just can't go to the bathroom and just be in privacy? And can't they just be? Yes, that is a problem. Let's at least have a discussion about that. Okay? But then she instead, she goes, that's a conservative talking point, as opposed to that has happened. That is, even if that is a hypothetical consideration, bring it up. That's what we need to be talking about. That's what middle ground's about. But instead she goes, it's a talking point? Dude, no, just no. Right wing equals bad. Exactly. To be fair, men can get no reason bonus, but this is good to have a discussion. No, actually, it's Spider. One of the people here actually says it looks bad for all of us if there is a man in the thing with it. So if you are a real trans person, you're not AGP or you whatever, you're literally, and you have some surprise crazy ass, and I don't know what, somehow there is no elastic band for you. It's embarrassing. But if you're just standing there and also just looking and whatever, this seems to be like a real perverted thing. But then we can go into the discussion of case by case and what happens in those cases. What do we do? Who do we report it to? And what actually is the problem is that people that are then reported, they just say, oh, well, I'm just trans. And then they get away with it. And that's the problem. It's not, oh, there is literally somebody in the bathroom. Well, that for me, that's what I would be. Is like, what happens when something like that happens? What happens to that person? Is there any recourse? How do we discourage perverts? Can we have that discussion? No, instead we have to go and we have to be petty and be like, oh, Blair said this, bitch. Basically. Okay, cool. Let's continue. No, she did finish. So let me just get to watch this. Wouldn't say third spaces for trans people. They're not being allowed though. Oh yeah, let me actually say we're in a state right now where you have to allow anybody to use anything. So actually I will put that here. There are states where you have to let anybody use any bathroom they want. So no recourse. Any violations. Okay, that is a problem. That's something we could talk about. That's possible middle ground. Middle ground, I don't know, maybe we can give middle ground. What would middle ground even look like? Like an underline? But the thing is, they don't come to too much middle ground in this episode. Okay. What was he wearing? Yeah, exactly. A dress? I don't know. We'll see. The real thing to try that I would be wanting and what I did want from this interaction is them to just at least accept that there are people that are hijacking their movement or hijacking their actual struggles to become predatory. Can't you have some outrage for that? We are the outrage mob. How can we not? No, we're scared that that's going to upset someone. Rather than actually hold up, can you actually respect people? I don't know why it's not. I don't see how how just wanting women to be safe, wanting everyone to be safe, is going to suddenly it means you hate all trans people. Which is what they're taking from Blair. Okay, so it's cool.
Trans. I'm speaking. That's their.
I'm speaking. She's already the interaction. My God, above. Okay. Sorry, I haven't done Blossom's thing, but if you're a decent human being, let's do it. Let's put a camera. Blah blah. Through all this new, I want to comment on Blair's point. I'm gonna put that here. Actually, it wasn't Blair's point. I'm gonna put. I know that we're not transcripting, but this is something I do want to note. I am biased, yes, because I like Blair and I don't like Blossom. So there is my bias claimed. Okay. I want to comment on Blair's point. So I'm just going to put immediate targeting of Blair. And this could have been as well because they had spoken about, they had done some other prompt and they've already had beef, these two. beforehand. So now she's just going to go for Blair again. Immediate targeting of Blair when she wasn't the person to use the word possibility. Okay. It's because the progressive stack is the first principle. Exactly. The whole ass principle is, yeah, if you attack one tiny bit of it, it's the end. We can't give you, we can't go into that kind of definition, high definition. No, it's not a thing.
Ideology when it
Okay, anyway, sorry, it wasn't persons use possibility. I really do agree this is possible middle ground. That is just ultimately when we talk about possibility, it determines how you get harassed. Possibility. So this was unnecessary. I want to comment on Blair's point. Why did you have to use Blair's thing? Let's talk about possibility. You don't need to talk about Blair, but of course you do because Blair is your nemesis. Possibility is about actually determines. This is a very good point. Determines how you are harassed in the bathroom, because it is truth. They talk about getting to this this point in their possibility or point in their transition where they have to go to a different bathroom, but it really does. It's difficult no matter what. When you are in a transition, there is going to be difficulty, and how do you get through that difficulty? There is a danger to trans people and to cis people. How do we overcome that? Maybe, America, it's also by putting freaking proper doors into your public bathrooms. Jesus. Okay. Like something like that. We could have gone down that route, but no, we did not. Okay. I agree with this point. It does determine how you harass in the bathroom. You might. There's one lady over here. I think it's the lady in orange. She says, I'm not possible. I don't feel comfortable going to the girls' bathroom. I'm like, huh? No. This girl in orange, I think that is her. She needs to go to the ladies. Because I do worry about her safety going into the guys. Yeah, because I'm worried about guys. Men are the problem. Oh my God. It's all your fault. Okay. Possibility determines how you're asked in the bathroom. This could have gone so much better. We could have done a middle ground here. How can I denote you as possible middle ground? This? Middle ground. The way the video goes, everyone else mentioned the idea of possibility before Blair. Blair just agreed and added to it. However, maybe that's just a trick of the editing. And she might have not used. I don't think she used the word possibility in the whatever they put in here. She has not used it once. But yeah, she was not the person to use the word possibility. She made, and now she says, I did not say that. But the point is, it actually it's a moot point, because what they did talk about, whether they used the word possibility or not, they were talking about point in transition and whatever. So eventually we have to have this whole argument about whether Blair said possibility or not, because they both want to make sure that I bet you I didn't say that. They're already at each other's throats.
When it comes to trans, it's because conservative.
Okay, if you have, oh wait, sorry, I wanted to do, there could be a middle ground there. Okay, I'm just going to actually put this over here. Copy style. Paste style. Okay, I'm putting the middle ground that does occur over here, but this is possible middle ground. Possible. That is summarily run over. Okay. Put that as commentary color. It's so weird. The whatever machine the building people are using outside stops every now and then, and it just gets too quiet. Ugh, it's so weird. Okay, anyway. Go. Wait, what? I had to do that. Then there's something else. I want to comment on Blair's point. Passability determines how you get harassed in the bathroom. Good, because honestly, if you don't look passable or whatnot, people are going to say, "Oh, that's a man with a dress on." That's what they're going to do, and then there's going to be a discourse. But the reality of it is, who cares who's trans and who's cis in the bathroom? That is a truth. Could we maybe make it that way? Who cares? It should be, who cares? But the thing is, when it does become a problem is with people that are taking there. What the fuck? You guys saw that, right? It just doesn't take what I'm putting in here. It doesn't want what I'm copy pasting. That's so fucking weird. Who cares? Who cares who's trans? Cis or trans going to the bathroom? You should be mind your own business. In peace. I don't know I don't know why she says for the most part. I think it's for the most part. Yeah, all of it. Maybe she just is talking about like talking to each other in the bathroom. I don't know. Should be minding your own business, being able to pee and do your business in peace for the most part. The conversation around this man with a bone or whatever, you see there, it's picking up. We are on the middle ground, sweetie baby child. But no, we are going to take the thing that we are not middle ground on, and we're going to say with the conversation around the man with the boner. So we're going to do that instead. Video of man with boner. Okay, he talks about that. It is a conservative talking point. Now that completely takes you out of the conversation. Hey, no more. I don't know about you, but my toilet breaks aren't in peace. It's a battleground. Battleships, let's go. Good to see you, Nobor. Video of men with boner sounds funny out of context. It is a video of man with boner. Okay, wait. In bathroom of, let's say trans woman with boner is a conservative talking point. I tried to bring some context in. It didn't work. I like fixing engines, but I hate how many tools you need to use. Okay. Well, there, the thing's back. Okay. That's really a right-wing talking point. Oh, wait. Sorry, she didn't. She said right-wing, which is even more offensive to say. Right-wing talking point. Because... And conservative, she says conservative propaganda. Because that's their ideology. So she is asking to argue now. This is not looking for middle ground here. Not helping. Not helping to find middle ground. Really is not by basically saying that's just propaganda. Basically, it's implying it's a lie, implying it's irrelevant. So, great stuff. Video transfer is talking point, and it's propaganda. If you're just telling people, implying it's a lie, and also just like accusing them of propaganda, that's just not. It's not going to be conducive to the conversation. So middle ground, which as the you know what, look, they just let people go, I understand, but if we are really pursuing the middle ground, maybe we could try and move the conversation towards bits that they do seem to agree on. Instead of spending, I guess if we spend too much time, or if we spend more time on the dramatics, then it's more interesting, obviously, for people. It's more, woohoo, yes, queen, look, they said things. As opposed to, oh, look, they agreed. It's not interesting when people agree, is it? But we're going to call it middle ground. Okay.
Just have a basic level understanding of what transness is in the first place. And with all due respect, I do not think any of you are basic, but they use you as the baseline to amplifying this propaganda.
Okay, I remember also pausing here and saying, I need to examine that statement. Okay, because what is she actually saying? Because the response after this becomes a lot more about the rest of what she was saying. But is there supposed to be a point? Because that's how is it propaganda when it comes to trans? I'm speaking as well. I'm speaking. That's just going for interaction points here.
How is it
are basic, but they in the first place. And with level understanding of what I'm speaking conservative propaganda because that's their ideology.
How is it
When it comes to
that
trans,
happened?
I'm speaking. That's their ideology when it comes to trans. It's because trans.
So the point is that she was going, how is that propaganda? She already brought it into. I'm speaking, so I'm just going to put here for commentary on. I'm speaking. What was it? It's at around like 5. I'm speaking. I'm gonna be around 5. Maybe it's 5:10. I'm speaking. Just the interaction part there. 0 out of 10 because they're contentious. But I mean, you could see Blair. Blair does a little blink, like what, and that obviously pisses Blossom off. Interaction is spicy. Okay. I am speaking. She is speaking. But now it gets even worse later on. You guys will see. I wonder if you guys will pick up whether it is you pick up what I'm thinking about. This person would smack me for my views. Well, yes. And you would get properly clapped. But Nobor, what I wanted to ask you, because Nobor is a South African, so Nobor knows that bathrooms mostly, okay, look, even yes, it's not that the public ones are great in South Africa, but there isn't this thing, I don't know, maybe it's bad. Nobor, I'm asking you, in your South African experience, whether you have seen people through the sides of the stall, okay? Because this is the discussion. Here is the door, okay? And here is like the pillar of the stall. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see the blue line, right? In America, they have like this whole ass space there. Whereas with other doors, it's like that. You're on the verge. Anyway, so that's what that poll is about. So please vote. Vin, she is speaking. No time for explanations. Okay, let's go.
Conservatives have a basic level understanding of what transness is in the first place. And with all due respect, I do not think any of you are basic, but they use you as the baseline to amplifying this propaganda.
Like that is, she's not only saying you're amplifying the propaganda, she's saying you guys are fools for the conservative side. Look at you. Okay, so that there is no middle ground being forged here. This is proper, like, fuck you. I've never seen anyone. Thank you, Nobor. Nobor is a true South African. America, you have a problem. Most toilets I've been to close that shit up pretty well with walls. Exactly. America's got a problem. This is why this is more of an issue for them, maybe, because you can see people through the stalls, man. Anyway. What she also goes, what did she say? Very right-wing talking point. I'm speaking their ideology when it comes to trans because I'm sorry, conservatives have a basic level of understanding what transness is in the first place. They have a basic understanding and they use you to amplify the propaganda. She's saying, yeah, conservatives have only a basic understanding of what trans is. Conservatives use trans conservatives to amplify their propaganda. So none of this brings the conversation forward. We're not collaborating. This is just her chance to shit on the other people. Look, it's very tempting to just shit back, battle shits. So I'm not going to say that the other side is pure and great and whatever. But the point is, Blossom, straight out of the gate over here, has said, how's about fuck you? You're shit. You're not basic, but you're basic. Just not helping. I'm also still not building middle ground. Still not building middle ground. Now insulting the intelligence of the conservatives. Vale, while saying he doesn't think they're basic. Basically, she being like, oh, you're basic, but you're not basic, but you're totally basic. You're letting them be basic. I don't know. Anyway, play.
How is it propaganda if it's a thing that really happened? It was caught on video. Like, it was an actual occurrence. It wasn't staged. It happened. And that's not the only, it's not isolated, isn't it?
That's not enough.
There you go. Okay. So she says this, she's made this whole thing over here. And so Blair gives us a thing and she's like, how is it propaganda? If it happened. Wasn't staged. And it also wasn't the only one. Isn't the only occurrence. So she's actually, she's questioned the evidence over here. So she's questioned this evidence here. We're talking about the evidence here. I'm actually going to say, it's actually supposed to be over here. There you go. How is it propaganda? Because she's questioned the evidence discussion here. How is it? It wasn't just occurred. So she is questioning it, and this is weak. This is one of the weakest parts of this discussion. I look, therefore I am. Yes, great. She wants to fight. She does. She even listen. Blossom like threatens Blair. She's like, "Oh yeah, you better have bodyguards or whatever." It's like, oh god.
Enough for me to say because actors can do that. Who knows? They could have been.
Listen.
That's not enough for me to say because.
And that's not the only. It's not an isolated incident.
That's not enough for me to say because.
That's not enough for me to say. That's not enough for me to say. She says actors can do that. It wasn't staged. It wasn't the only occurrence. She literally just out of nowhere, she's like, actors. It's not enough. It's not enough, she says. Not enough. So I'm going to put in here evidence. Evidence for her. And over here she goes, actors can do that. So she's just calling it into question. That's it. She's just like, oh, go. And why don't you say, why don't we then go, if we're not combative in our conversation, why don't we go, okay, cool. Let's pretend, Blossom, that it did occur. What would you do, Blossom? What do you think about it, Blossom? How do we deal with this kind of situation? How do we do that? What do we do? What should women do? Let's talk about that. No, but instead we have to fight each other here. So here we go.
No, they could have been an actor trying to make a point against trans people, but this is always
and you can see this. You can see how off they are. She is pissed off with Blossom. So I don't know. We need to go back to, like I said, after we're done with this, which will be in a couple episodes time. We'll look at what Blair's feedback of this was. There's two videos that she did about this, and one of them was basically like a review of watching this and the way it was cut and the order it was put in. And she did seem to say that they had argued about stuff later on in the discussion, but now this makes it as if they were out of the gate at each other's throats. So it seems like they might, if I'm not mistaken, if I haven't forgotten, the way that Blair said it happened, this was later on after they are not willing to listen to each other. So that makes sense. So I just don't know why we can't just put it in the order that it happened. It's very difficult to view these things all by themselves without the escalation that occurs. But I guess that's what they want you to buy the Patreon version for.
It's been our battle. It's just like, from what I just heard you were saying with your, it's always been our battle. It's just trying to make a point against trans people. But this has always been our battle. It's just like, from what I just heard you were saying with your talking points, because I did understand what you were saying. I just got the word passability out of there, and
which I didn't say that word.
Okay, you see, she's pissed off. Blair did not need to say, I did not say passability, because she just did a little wiggle. Blossom over there, she was like, the word I got out of what you said, because she knew. She went, oh shit, yeah, that's right. Blair did not say passability. I did attribute it to her, but the word I got from what you were saying was passability is perfectly fine. But Blair already is like on the defensive. She's like, rare. No, I did not say that word. Relax. But she needs to defend herself. She's already defensive against Blossom over here. So that's good.
No, I'm saying. I just got the word passability out of there, and
which I didn't say that word at all.
No, I'm saying that word.
He said passability.
I'm saying
she didn't say it. He did. And the problem, the left.
Okay, I can't. I couldn't hear. I just couldn't hear it back there.
The liberals, what I was saying was, liberals always use the.
Yeah.
And I think what Orange Shirt Lady is trying to say is the liberals always do this little wiggle waggle around words. Yeah, I think that's what is happening. But now the moderator gets in.
No, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying you said that word. What I was getting out of what you were saying, the one word that was coming to me was passability.
This whole thing about that where she tried to say it was Blair's point and whatever. This definitely makes me think that this contention occurred beforehand. I'm just going to put here. Goes back to the, I don't know, possibility. Possibility is the word I got. She left that behind, eh? She left this over here. How is it propaganda if it happened? Oh, it's not enough evidence, whatever. Actors can do that. She just left it. And then she went back. So I'm going to say, oh, it goes back to the possibility. Goes back to possibility. To possibility discussion. Okay. I will even put the little line here. Passability is the word is the word that came to me. I'm going to write here that there is a whole ass interaction. A whole ass. Where Blair has to say she didn't use that word because there's so much contention at this point. Okay, ta-da. Copy star. Paste down. Cool, we're good, we're good. Come on, we want to do one prompt this stream. We can do it.
Blossom saying it. And so passability politics is really a thing in our trans community, especially when we come to the debate of restrooms.
Well, you can say it's politics, but actually it's just real life, right? It's just about
Correct.
where
I
you're
agree.
able to.
Oh, they agreed, they agreed. She said possibility is the word that came to me. What did she say? It's possibility politics is a thing. They agree that possibility politics is a thing. An issue. Blair says it's real life. And we get agreement from Blossom. So do we get over here, we get a bit of middle ground in that they both agree that possibility is real life. I'm going to actually put in here possibility is possibility is real life. Agreeing that possibility is. 90% of trans people don't pass. Well, these days, that proportion, Lucifer, these days, that proportion of passing trans people seems much lower than what it used to be. Like, it is a lot more of a problem, I don't know, more of a visible thing that people are more, and also, yes, people are more aware of it as well. People are more aware of that. They are thinking, is that person trans? That they're going to think that. Like the joke that Shu always does, like, oh, the trans rumors are true, that whole thing. Yeah. So actually, more people are going to question whether people are transitioned or not these days. So I think being passable is even more difficult. I don't know. They're agreeing that it is. But I do think, yeah, it might be that, well, the blurring of the lines as well, we come to it in a later prompt, the blurring of the lines between what is trans and what isn't. It seems like real trans people are making a huge effort to pass, but then there's other people that decide that they're trans-binary. That's not a thing, non-binary, sorry, trans non-binary, that doesn't make sense. And by saying that doesn't make sense, that they think that they think that people like that are invalidating their existence. It's not that. It's that it's a different thing. Don't call it that. It's always quibbling about words. Okay. Possibility is a real life issue. Woohoo!
Assimilate you and where you're not. And I think one of the biggest problems it's just about
of restrooms.
Well, you can say it's politics, but actually it's just real life, right? It's just about
Correct.
where
I
you're
agree.
able to assimilate you and where you're not. And I think one of the biggest problems in the trans community is the community by and large has seemed to reject assimilation and seems hell-bent on...
That's not true.
I think it's...
Oh, you're into... I'm speaking! Blair is speaking! Blossom! Okay, so possibility is policies and issues. So there was middle ground, but no, now we've got another one. We've got a this is actually an argument over here. I'm going to put this as a little argument that Blair is putting out, that the trans community is against assimilation now. More going towards more intent on destroying it. Let's see. Really thinking, especially when we come to debate of Western, assimilation seems hell-bent on, by and large, the biggest problem is the community by and large has seemed to reject assimilation. On rejecting it. Okay, I agree with that. I think they're actually, it's like expecting anyone to pass is a bad thing now. Which is kind of like people have worked really hard to pass. They've really worked hard on their appearances, on everything, and then you're kind of you're taking away their experience by saying no, they don't have to. It's like, well, actually people need to be passable for them to actually have transitioned. But they're trying to just take that away. They're trying to take away they're trying to take away gender norms completely in order to justify transness, which just never made sense to me. It's just like gender norms are what people just want to move and perform the gender that they weren't born as. And that's kind of possible. They're not going to ever be the sex that they weren't born as. They're never going to change sex, but they will be closer to what they wish they could be. And socially being seen as what they wish they could be is important. But it seems like this has gone full circle to the point of you're not supposed to have any gender roles. That's why the fact that the idea of a trans non-binary makes absolutely no fucking sense, because trans is about moving from one to the other, changing. But if there's no binary, okay. Oh, Vincent, she does not say white right-wing propaganda. She just says, she just said it's right-wing propaganda, and basically it's just not true. They never ever spoke about the issue of whether it's happening or not. Because there's just contention. This whole discussion that we want to happen over here is not happening. Okay, trans communities against assimilation more than reject. So this is Blair. Okay, and she just goes, that's not true.
It's absolutely true, which is you see people talking about how you don't need to work on your transition at all to enter women's restrooms. And I think that is so selfish. So it's so disregarding of women who may or may not feel uncomfortable.
But the trans woman experience is not monolithic. So who are we to police transness? Why are we policing other people's trans?
Wow. Okay. So her thing over here is she's saying one of this is speaking of talking points, actually, she does actually have buzzwords in her thing. She does actually say policing, and when I hear the word policing, she's like, haha, you see, this is part of her talking point. Her talking point is you're policing trans women. So we have the disagreement from Blossom. Disagrees. Blair explains further that transactions into the women's restrooms, the discourse is basically the community now saying you don't have to work on your transition at all to enter the bathroom, into the women's restrooms. That is part of this argument. Hold on. Did I have this to denote? Premise conclusion. Okay, let me do this here. Let's just do this as a premise. Community now saying you don't have to work on your transition at all to enter the women's restrooms. She's saying that was okay before. This was expected of you as a trans person before. Now, no, you're not supposed to be. And that this monolithic as well. This word's monolithic. The trans woman experience is not monolithic. That's saying absolutely nothing. How does this counter what Blair is saying? Oh, you're saying that you can be trans and everyone can be trans in different ways. It's like, no, well, there is going to need to be something that makes you trans. Otherwise, there's no use of having any label ever. If your label means nothing, if your label has no lines, if there are no lines delineating between something and something else, then what's the point of it? So the trans woman experience is not monolithic. It's not. I can't even put another line here as if that's her response. But Blossom disagrees, apparently because trans woman experience isn't monolithic. And why are we policing transness? And she's already, and what Blair is also trying to say here is women's restrooms, it's selfish to expect women not to be uncomfortable. That's part of what she's talking about. Don't need to work on your tradition all to enter. I think that is so selfish. That's right. It's so disregarding of women who may or may not feel uncomfortable. The trans woman experience is non-monolithic. So the way they're talking past each other way over the top. What she does, she goes into the policing transness. Oh, but you shouldn't be expecting trans people to do things. You should be expecting other people. So here we go. Who are we to police transness? Who are we to police transness? Trans people are the people to police transness. Do you want perverts to be counted with you? No. Then you're going to need to police. This is the whole discussion of gatekeeping. You do need to gatekeep your community because you want to differentiate yourself, especially to the clueless conservatives. You want to differentiate yourself between the guy that's just in the bathroom getting his rocks off and the actual person who experiences real gender dysphoria. So saying that that somebody who is taking advantage of the trans narrative is not welcome, that is not transphobic. That is protecting trans people. But no, sorry, Blair, Blair is just a pawn, and she just does what the conservatives tell her to do. It's fine. Just be possible. It's fine. Yeah, that does make it easier. I'm sure it does, Patrick. But yeah, what happens when you're not possible? What do you do? Yeah, because I don't know, if somebody is just minding their own business and they seem very male, but they're minding their own business, I'm fine with that. Like, if you're not very possible, but you're still doing something, I'm just going to ignore. I'm not going to be in your space. I don't want to. I would feel more embarrassed about it. Like, oh, let me just leave that person. But if there is literally a guy in the bathroom, I'm going to go, hey, wrong toilet. Okay. It isn't a community if you don't have clear. Yeah, well, they've all decided everything is a community, except they do gatekeep very much so with Blair and them. Those aren't real trans people. They already don't value Blair as part of their community.
How they show up.
We have to protect women.
Why are y'all policing?
Ooh, look at you. Well, we have to protect women. Who gives a fuck about women?
Though that's what trans is
I'm
and
just
how they
listening to
show
women.
up.
We have to
But
protect
why-
women.
I'm just listening to
Why
women.
are y'all
Protect women. Protect women. Listen to women. We have to police. Oh, so what she's saying there is, we have to police transness because to protect women. We have to believe that's actually what her response is over here for the disagreement. We have to police transness to protect women. I'm listening to women. Listening to women. Nope. Not okay. Hi, Didi. Come on. Why do they care about protecting cis women? Oh no. You can't protect cis women.
Policing, though, that's what I don't understand.
Because you're using words
there's
that we're not
policing.
using. It's not policing. We're listening
is
to women.
policing.
And if you have 50%, we won't say 50%, but if you have a large chunk of the population of women saying that they are uncomfortable with a certain thing, a good person leans in and listens.
So why
they
are
don't
you
just
not listening
reject
to
it.
other trans women, Blair? I think
Yep. So there we go. Listening to women. Significant amount of the population, a person who cares is going to listen to women, but you're not listening to trans women. Look, there are two groups of people. How do we make both of them happy? That is very difficult. There is no answer where there's no where people don't get hurt, because this delineation does have to occur in some way. The least friction would be a third space, like one of the other ladies was talking about. That's the most we can do. It ain't happening where I live, but you know, we're talking about America here.
Do all day,
okay,
right
so,
now.
But you didn't, and I'm not trying to be combative or whatever like that.
I'm not trying to be combative. Honey, sweetie, baby, child, you were combative from the first moment you spoke.
Just trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what the middle ground would be between you and I.
Oh, now I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to look for the middle ground. Cool. That's good. Good, Blossom. Let's do it.
Whatever like that. I'm just trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what the middle ground would be.
Look, there's such contention that you wouldn't notice the middle ground, which are these underlined things over here. Possibility determines how you're asked. You didn't talk into that. You didn't lean into that. Instead, you went to, oh, you're a conservative talking point, propaganda, blah, blah. That I'm not trying to be competitive. I'm trying to find here is the middle ground. Let's talk about there. Okay, so what is this? What is this middle ground that now Blossom has so graciously started to go towards?
Between you and I, because you said one side and that's great, but what about the side of trans women? If we're
so that's all that she's saying is you're not listening to trans women. That's it. You're not listening to trans women. I heard what you said about women, but I don't give a fuck about women. I give a fuck about trans women.
We're not bringing both sides into this conversation.
Here's what I would say.
Then it is unbalanced.
Here's what I would say then, because I do understand both sides. I didn't, I'm almost a decade into my transition, which means I was one time a year in, 6 months in, 2 months in. So I understand that. But I also knew at the very beginning of my transition that if I'm not at a place physically where I'm not making people feel uncomfortable, or I'm making people uncomfortable, then that's on me. That's my responsibility.
There we go. We got some middle ground. What does Blossom do with that? There we go. Guys, I don't remember what happens here. Okay, so why aren't you listening to trans women? Then Blair actually gives her this is her point, her side. Blair on the trans side. Certain stages of transition were uncomfortable. She knew it was on her to make herself possible, so that they boom. That's her what she is trying to say. I don't like listening to any woman. Exactly. Patrick is based. He's not listening to any woman. Oh, you want to be treated like a woman? That's it. That's what Patrick's going to do. Except Kitty, yes, you can listen to me. Because all I'm going to say is you're funny. Kitty, if this video is out of order, What relevance is there to the diagram? It's definitely a map of the video, but not the actual discussion / debate. Exactly. The diagram is not, you'll see it's not, the only thing is literally, I'll put it as there's time stamps for where I get this stuff from. But the discussion that is occurring under each what do you call it, prompt is still valuable. It's still good to have the structure of it. We still have, each of them are like a mini debate within each of them. And yes, I know there are cuts and things, but all the ideas are what I'm trying to pull out the ideas. And yes, the only thing I can do is note that there is contention. There is, it's not like I've said before, it's not an exact transcript, because it can't be, but I'm bringing out all the ideas as best I can to map out what has actually been said, and also to literally denote things, that the arguments that are brought together, bits that are brought as evidence, and also places that we can see or identify as middle ground, which let's see if we can make it like a certain color. There we go. Copy style, just to make it a bit more visible. This was supposed to be middle ground because they're in agreement. She agrees with this. She nods with this. I almost feel bad for manly-looking cis women in the environment. This environment. Yes, please do feel bad for us. People with small breasts as well. It's really a difficult way. I do wonder, having short hair as well. I do wonder if some people question me. It is quite. It's added a lot of different experiences to being male and female, hasn't it? I prefer a bit more rugged women myself, and I'm playing really. Kitty is the least manly looking woman ever. Oh, thanks so much, Cameron. My mom says so too. Meantime, you just have to just make my eyebrows thicker, and there we go, I'm a man. I accept titties of all sizes and pointiness. As long as they're titties, huh? Okay. Cool. So selfish to expect women not to be uncomfortable. Blair on the trans side. Cool. Where were we?
To make sure that I'm going places a certain way to make sure that they're comfortable.
Because it's for your safety also too, right?
Well,
Would you also
you
say
can-
that you're safe?
Well,
Your
I know
safety
that
plays a part.
you seem to be looking.
Okay, come on, Blair. You could say also for your safety. So she's like, oh, here we go. You can be a victim here, and Blair's like, but there's things that I want to do, and I want to look at it this way. So this could have been a middle ground, could have been, but she found the contention, and she went, is this compatible or whatever like that, blah, 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 going about side of trans. Here's what I would say, it's unbalanced. Here's what I would say then, because I do understand both sides. I'm not making you feel uncomfortable. It's my responsibility to make sure I'm going places a certain way to make sure that they're comfortable, because it's for your safety also. Blossom, for your safety. So we can actually say, actually not even that, let's put it this way, Blossom, people, Blossom, trans people also have to pass for their own safety. That's an argument. It's true. Those are two things, they can both be true at once. Can we not consider them together? Actually, I need to go and change the colors to the agrees and disagrees. Wow, let's just quickly do that. This is the conservative. So I need to change the fill for conservative. Da-da. Purple. Okay, let's go over here. This is all of the conservative stuff. Fill. No, no, what I want is this. Thank you. Paste style. Actually, no, that's just going to change that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Copy style? Actually, no, it's this copy style. Sorry you have to deal with this, but there we go. And change that. Okay. Yeah, I want to comment on Blair's point immediately. Sorry, let's also go here. Copy style, paste style. Let's see. My farm is on Vancouver Island. Oh, that's cool. I want to comment on Blair's point. Liberal. Copy style. Paste. Paste style. But I also want to have the double lines. So, how do I denote that? No, I'm going to rather do that and then color the line. Who brought it up? Who cares? Who's cis or trans women? This could have been possible middle ground as well. Copy style. Video of trans women. So this was Blossom saying that's not a thing. And then this was Blair defending her point. Blossom does not care. Sorry, I will continue doing this better so that I don't have to do this. Actors can do that. Goes back to there we go. Okay. Possibility is the word that came to me. Conservatives, propaganda. It's down. I'm speaking. Probability politics is an issue. Agreement from Blossom. So I will change this to purple. Okay, ta-ta. This is actually commentary because they did not say the words at all. Okay, Blossom disagrees. This is Blair's point. Blairsville. Blossom disagrees. Trans woman experience isn't monolithic. There. Almost done, almost done. Certain stages of transition would still make cis people uncomfortable. Let's go here. Why aren't you listening to trans women? That was Blossom. We have police transness to protect women. That was I'll just put this as an assertion here. It's arguments. It's not really, it doesn't have premise. Okay, listening to women. That was Blair. There we go. Oh, that was supposed to be a full color. Axia, make a poop. Okay, cool. Community is now, you don't have to work on your transition. Cool, we are finally there. Selfish to expect women not to be uncomfortable. Cup star. Star. Oh, cool. We good. Here we are. You're always welcome. I have a couple extra beds. Oh, you guys gonna meet up? Lord Cameron and Lucifer the Doberman. Yippee. Okay.
Looking at through the lens of always trans being the priority. I'm looking at through the lens of women being the priority here. There's plenty of situations.
Why? I just want to know
because
why
it's them who would
that.
fall victim to not actual trans women, as I said, but people posing as trans women. People who
Wow. So we are not allowed to say that women are the victims. Sorry. So certain side of situations still makes these people uncomfortable, blah blah. Blossom, trans people pass for their own safety. So this actually isn't middle ground. Because she's more focused on this. This is more important than that. This is actually, I'm gonna put here. Could agree on this. But instead, well, this actually could understand this, but instead wants to value the trans experience above the woman experience, cis woman. As opposed to trying to find some solution that could help people the most. Blair is saying women only are the victim, which is going to make Blossom feel uncomfortable, because Blossom wants to focus on the victimization of trans people. So it's like that's their fear, the fear of always, oh, whoa, now you're going to not care about trans people. That's the big thing. It's like we can care about both things, but it seems like acknowledging that women might fall victim to these predators, acknowledging that is bad for the trans community. I don't see how you wouldn't want only real trans people, good trans people in your community. I don't get it. So let's go back.
fall victim to not actual trans women. As plenty of situations being the priority. I'm looking at through the lens of women being the priority here. There's plenty of situations.
Why? I just want to know.
So the question here is why women are the priority here, seeing women as the priority. So she actually says that. And why? Because they would fall victim to fake trans people. Predators. Can I come work on your farm too, Lucifer? So women are the priority here. Actually, that would like be this is her argument. Women are the priority here. That's why. Because they would fall victim to trans people. And that's it. That's the line. They're not going to agree. What do we do now? Let's talk about what they do agree on. And maybe let's try and expand on what fake trans means and what kind of legislation or what would help.
Because it's them who would fall victim to not actual trans women, as I said, but people posing as trans women. People who are
trans women are also victims of that as well.
I'm sorry. I would love it.
Yep. Okay, so she's wanted to say trans women are victims as well. Okay, well, why can't we have both sides be victims? Instead of, oh, ladies, you're both pretty, we can say, ladies, you're both victims. That will be it. We can just say that. And then everyone will be fine. It would be a more interesting conversation if we could get to that. But obviously, we also want to shut Blossom and Blair up because they're the only ones talking. Um, so we do have this idea of women are the priority, but trans women are victims as well. These two things don't need to be completely in opposition. Let's find a way to bring them closer together. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's go.
The two of you have said your piece, and I would love to hear.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah,
else
I
needs
just
to
want to
talk.
make this
Nobody else
point.
is
I just
talking.
want to make this point as well. But
Nobody else is talking. So the moderator does step in here, and I'm just like, cool. But then they just carry on. So I don't know. The moderator, Amala has also said like the moderator's not the greatest there.
trans women also experience violence and also
No
need that
doubt.
protection, and so that's the
No
thing.
doubt.
There we go. So they actually agreed on that. Of victims as that as well, and then actually we can be like this. Actually, we can change you to this. To this. She says, no doubt, no doubt. So why can't we talk about that? How do we get rid of the victimization? How do we get rid of the perpetrators so that we don't get any more victims?
Like, it should be an even playing field. I'm not saying you're wrong.
I'm just going to say Blair agrees. So there's middle ground bits, and this this moderator could help point those out. But it's much better to just let people fight, isn't it?
But what I'm saying is, I would like to challenge you to expand to make sure you're being inclusive of both sides or whatever, because we have to have these important conversations.
Again, oh, here we go with this is the line we get, boys and girls, which is we got to have this conversation. We got to have these conversations. We're having the conversation, but you're shutting each other down, both of you. And once we saw that there is two things that we can hold at once, let's talk about them. Let's collaborate. Let's figure out. No, we're just too busy trying to hit the other person with words.
Between cis women and trans women.
I mean,
I'm just gonna say, and I'm not gonna just say cis women. I'm gonna say women, biological women. I want to make it inclusive of everyone.
I think the middle ground though is, and I feel like I'm not coming at this from an extreme place. I feel like an extreme place would be like no trans women in the bathroom ever. That's the extreme position. I'm saying work on your transition, take it as your responsibility, and be respectful. And that's the middle ground, right?
This is a self-preservation issue, right?
Okay, just hold up, Sarah. We'll get to you. I will feed you, take you fishing, crabbing, and take you on mountain hikes. Gordon can do competitive farting against the pigs. Oh my gosh. That is pretty cool. We I don't know, you would have to just take some time to show us what to do, but then we'd totally do it. Hey, I'm late to the party today. Hey, Nico, there's no AI discussion today. I'm so sorry. But I'm glad you've come around. Hello, hi, welcome. Okay, so where is my... Oh, hold on, I'm just getting my water. Okay. Okay, Blair agrees. What did it tell victim not actual? Also victims dead as well. So we could talk about the victims here. And how do we find the perpetrators, and how do we discourage those people? But no, that's the thing, no doubt. Like, it should be even playing field. I'm not saying you're wrong. But what I'm saying is I would like to challenge you to expand, to make your being inclusive of both sides. I think she has been inclusive of both sides, but whatever. We have to have these important conversations without cutting each other off between cis women and trans women. I'm not gonna just say cis woman. See, all of this is just, we don't need this. We don't need to spend time on saying how many and who the conversation needs to be with. This is just word salad. It's like, it's just, oh, here are my sacrifices to the woke gods. I'm saying we need to be inclusive. Look at me, look at me. Instead of actually having the conversation you're talking about having. I think the middle ground, though, is, well done, Blair. And I feel like I'm not coming at this from an extreme place. I feel like an extreme place would be, so there we go. So that's actually, she goes. I think I'll even put it down here. Middle ground. The middle ground is initiated by Blair. Thank you very much. Not the extreme. Extreme position. Oh my gosh, come on. Extreme position would be no trans woman in the ladies' toilet ever. So there is the middle ground. You don't need to hate on Blair, guys. Relax. Okay, that's extreme. What she is saying is work. Holy. Are we back? Okay. Work on your transition. Instead saying work on your transition. Work on your transition. Take responsibility. It's your responsibility. Take responsibility. Be respectful. This is missing. Actually, the discussion is missing here because they actually don't talk about why is Blair saying it's your responsibility and things like this. She's saying that because when you make the self-ID, this easy way out, oh, I identify as this, therefore I am. When you take it that way, that is when the predators come in. But what Blossom sees is if we are not letting people self-identify, then we're putting too much pressure on them to pass. And that's not good. That's bad. So what Blair is asking for them is to take responsibility of how they look and make themselves more passable. Whereas what Blossom wants is the responsibility has to be on the rest of the people to just accept everybody else. And that's the way she wants it. And if that's the way she wants it, that's the way she wants it. I think if you want to argue that that's it, then we can get to that and then we can go, oh, well, I want it this way. I want it this way. And there's no middle ground, but I can at least, the middle ground is me understanding that there is some responsibility to be given to people. And the place that we differ is who we give it to. Blair is on the individual's responsibility and Blossom is on the society's responsibility. Okay, so be respectful. Cool, be respectful. And that's the middle ground, right? This is a self-preservation issue, right? So if somebody's in the bathroom, they have a boner. Okay, so this as well. Actually, you know what that is? There we go. Sarah actually does kind of bring this in. Sorry, she does. She does bring this in. Okay. Go instead of, but Blossom and Blair didn't bring it in themselves. So not the extreme position, and then we go. Yeah, be respectful. Actually, that's the thing there. This and this need to just be this color. Okay, and Sarah, she goes here This is a self-preservation issue.
right? So if somebody's in the bathroom and they have a boner, that looks bad on all of us. And when people and when our community's not calling that out and not saying that this is
But
wrong,
how many I'm just
no.
There we go. We go back. We go back. Self-preservation issue. I like what Sarah's saying here. Like literally, okay. It looks bad. Man in a trans woman. I'm gonna put like this: trans woman in bathroom with boner looks bad on all of us. So she is saying police transness and make real trans people a thing. Our community needs to call it out. I think that is an important thing for the community to be doing. It's bad when the community is not calling that out. Like Blossom is literally not calling that out here. Blossom is doing the thing that they are accusing her of doing. She's doing it. Because here she goes, how many? Instead of going, okay, fine, that is a bad thing. If it is happening, it's bad. No, instead we do the same thing. We do the same thing. It's always, if it's happening, it's not happening. But if it is, that's a good thing. It's just get the fuck out. Can we just? Okay. So here we go.
No, to your point, how many cases has that occurred?
It happens a lot. We see it's happening all the time.
No, I
There-
have
there-
never seen
there
it.
are-
So she just brings this back into she's just going back to questioning this bit of evidence. This is the main one of the main thing, the boner thing. So I'm actually going to put this in a little evidence box. And just fill this. Because it is like the it is like it's about the evidence. She just brings it into question. Blossom brings this into question. How many? But on all of us, how many? And then obviously, then it just becomes a shit show.
I have to
There are
actually see
Twitter
data.
accounts.
I'm sorry, because I just want to make the sure the back and
Yeah.
forth goes everywhere.
I mean, there's Twitter accounts with millions of followers that show this stuff multiple times
Okay,
a day.
now I know.
There we go. Now this is dismissed. How many? And then she goes, okay. Then Sarah says Twitter accounts. So obviously she's talking about like there's gays against groomers, there's what's it, libs of TikTok, those accounts, right? So we hear Blossom go, oh, I hear what you're talking about. Dismissed. Done.
And so we're showing that.
Yeah, I saw that he died. Yeah, that's really sad. I haven't told Gordon about it. Oh, that's really, and he was like only 60. It's really crazy. That's really sad news. Andre Brower.
These types of things do actually cause harm to trans people. So if you're looking at it at a trans lens and to say,
Oh, beautiful, Sarah.
What are we doing? We need to combat that stuff and come together to combat that
It does
stuff.
not encompass the entire trans experience.
No,
and
you're
that's
right.
Oh, come on. Blossom, how many? So she's Twitter accounts that then she just immediately just dismisses. Oh, I see what you're talking about. But then Sarah just does a beautiful thing. She's like, okay, I'm gonna put this here and then just be like, Blossom dismisses. I see what you're talking about. Who you're talking about. Okay, I'm going to put that as Sarah Twitter accounts, but then Sarah as well. Sarah with the amazingness, okay? This, if you want to talk about, this hurts trans people too. Okay? So, that was her her premise or her argument there. It hurts trans people too, because makes trans people look bad. Makes real, not differentiating real trans people from is damaging. It is damaging because the people that are on this extreme level that really think that all trans people are perverts, the more they hear about that, they need to be shown that there are normal trans people. Okay, it's a thing. There are normal people that are just trying to just fucking live their lives in a different way to what's normal. That's it. But they're not trying to attack anyone. So this is a beautiful thing to be saying. You wanted to look at it through the trans lens. This works. It's good for you to. Why are we policing? If we go here, I'm actually going to put a relationship. Why are we policing transness? It's up here somewhere, isn't it? Why are we policing trans women? Why aren't you listening to women? Why are we policing transness? Here should go relationship wise, should go over here. This is why. Answers the question. She does. She answers it there. Not differentiating trans people from predators is damaging to trans people. Imagine if we could actually have that conversation. Instead, we're going to talk past each other again. Let's go. Let me just get everybody's colors. Sarah. She's also just putting this as evidence, so I guess it works. Oh, this is not. This is supposed to be argument. There you go. This hurts trans people too. Ta-da! Counterpoint to Blair's side, cars are a huge problem that we are not nearly as worried about it. I understand why people are more emotional about this issue. However, we should be focused on a solution, on something else. Okay, middle ground. So yeah, this would have been. This is the best take out of all of this, man. But let's see. We will almost be done. Sustainable solution. Having said that, I don't think Blair's solution is a good middle ground. It's people's responsibility to make it. I think it isn't a good middle ground because then it's just putting it on. There's the shared responsibility. Actually, it should be, yes, there is responsibility on the trans person side to make an effort to transition for sure. But then there's also society's also got its own responsibility to be accepting of, oh, well, that person's voice is deep, but that doesn't mean I need to now kick them out of the bathroom. There needs to be a literal middle ground in that way. I think you're right. So what she did here, this is it. Should be take responsibility. So I'm going to put your comment here. Counterpoint to Blair's side. Then I'm going to copy paste that. If it'll take. It wasn't working before. Yeah, just not enjoying that. It's not. It's taking it funny. No. Okay, wait. Let's see. Counterpoint. Oh, you see, it doesn't take your stuff. Just hold on. Let's try this again. Counterpoint to Blair's. There we go. There we go. Focus on a sustainable. There we go. Andrew Clark. Okay. Sustainable solution. Having said that, I do think Blair's good. So then with mine is, yeah, how's about shared responsibility? Shared responsibility? Okay, the individual should try to make society comfortable, and society should be lenient on those who are trying. Exactly. I like the way you've worded that. Let's put that there. Andrew Clark. Ta-da! This is all commentary blocks. So we make you discolor. Okay, Blossom dismisses the CEO. Okay, cool. Where do we go from here? Come on, guys. We are going to do one prompt this episode. There are how many prompts? One. I've got them here. Prompt 5. There's 5. So it's going to be 5 episodes. But I think there is a prompt. I don't know if this includes the. I think I didn't. Yeah, I didn't include the Patreon ones. I might have. I thought I might have put them in just for us to discuss them. But anyway, okay, let's go.
That's all I just want to say.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of different points from everybody here. Honestly, like I can understand like how some women may feel unsafe with men in the restroom. Men. When I say men, I mean men.
There we go. That's fine. That's kind of a middle ground. I can see women getting uncomfortable. Millions of honestly, like I can understand how women may feel unsafe. I can understand. So you can understand it. Okay? Can understand women will not feel safe. Can feel with men in their restroom. Now Blair, you can see her blinking a storm away. Look at this.
Unsafe with men in the restroom. Men. When I say men, I mean men. I'm not talking about trans women. So being a
look at her go. Oh, Blair.
non-binary person that sometimes has the choice to either go into a men's restroom looking like this.
Oh, this is where it happens. Jesus, Blair. Okay, so yeah, can understand women feel unsafe with men in the restroom. That could have been a middle ground, but yes, Blair was just more pissed off about the trans person, the trans non-binary person. This was the point where she was going to take issue with that. So we can see there is Blair's face. Just have a gander. Oh, sorry, my face is in the way. Just hold on. Okay, so there you had a good look at her. Okay, so this is where the contention happens. I feel like that we were on a good path, but because of Blair's look over here, they chose violence. The non-binary person chose violence.
Looking like this. You can look at me. Looking like this.
Just look at the disgust.
Being a non-binary person that sometimes has the choice to either about trans women in the restroom.
Alexander. That's Alexander. Sorry, Alexander. Can understand women feel unsafe with men in the restroom. This could have been middle ground. Could have been middle ground. Like we could have gone from there, but Blair and Alexander want to throw hands. That's basically it. I'm more offended by the yellow beret. Oh, is that the only thing you're not happy with there? Okay, so here we go.
Men, when I say men, I mean men. I'm not talking about trans women. So being a non-binary person that sometimes has
Okay, so it's when Blair does it. It's when this person speaks about being non-binary that Blair goes. I'm gonna actually say that I'll say that when Alexander brings up being non-binary, Blair reacts with huh face. That just brings us middle ground lost. That's it. It's gone. And the violence. Well, here we go. I'm based. I don't think finding possible trans chicks is gay. The beret is a war crime. I'm just more of like whoa the lipstick. But anyway, okay.
the choice to either go into a men's restroom looking like this. You can look.
You can look at me.
Looking
No,
like this.
it's just interesting. I thought this was a trans debate. That's what I
don't
thought.
even.
That's what I
Non-binary
thought.
people.
Oh no! Oh no! She thought it was a trans debate. You know what? I'm wondering if this was. We do need to make a note. I do want to make a note here, guys. Was this before the there is a prompt here. What is the prompt? Yes. This prompt over here. Prompt 2, 3, 4. Prompt 4. Before prompt 4 had occurred. Asks whether non-binary should be in the under the trans umbrella. I don't think it is. My prediction is that I don't think it was. That they haven't had this non-binary discussion yet, because otherwise Blair would not be using this passive aggressive way of saying, "Oh, I thought this was a trans debate." Like she wouldn't have done that if they had had this discussion before. So I'm thinking, I'm going to put that as a future Chinsia. Please look here. Future Kitty. Past Kitty thinks this happened before the non-binary conversation. Because Blair used passive aggressive. I thought this was a trans debate. But yeah, that's shots fired. Blair, shots fired. Damn. Let's go over here. I'm just gonna.
It's just interesting. I thought this was a trans debate. That's what I thought.
Even.
That's what I thought.
10:32. Sorry, I'm gonna put 10:32. Shots fired. Okay, cool. Let's go. I want to trans trailer trash mom. You want to trans trailer trash mama?
People
fall
the
the
trans umbrella.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you could educate yourself.
What?
People fall
the
the
trans
trans
umbrella.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they
So,
don't.
I don't know, maybe you
Yes.
could educate yourself a little bit on that.
I think I
and
can
maybe
educate
then you would
you.
figure out,
I think I can educate
you know, what
right?
the reality is.
I'm
and
sure
what
there's
trans
a
actually means.
non-binary Jubilee episode.
Well, because it's not a debate about who is really trans and who is not.
It can be.
We're talking.
This isn't a debate about who is trans and who is not. Actually, it actually, and it can be, is not the best answer there. It actually is, because if we go back to what Sarah, God bless Sarah, what Sarah was saying is that it's damaging for certain kinds of people to be counted with the trans community, and certain people being perverts, because that's the old mentality. That's the old Christian thing where it's all the gays are perverts and all the trans people are just perverts. It's all just perversion. That's old school. That's not what we want people to be thinking. You're not helping. You're not helping the stupid people. They are stupid. So help them. Okay. So shots fired. There is this thing, this exchange, heated exchange. What have I walked back into? It's just the heated exchange that came in the beginning of this, where it's just like Blair is like, please, honey, sweetie, and Alexander is like, Alexander got upset, and this is, according to Alexander, this isn't a debate about who is trans and who isn't. And unfortunately, Blair says it could be. Maybe that is her being bitchy and being like, it could be if your ass wasn't here, kind of thing. But I wish she had said, but it is. So I'm going to just say, I wish she'd said it is about that, because of Sarah point. Not policing, whatever, yeah. It's damaging to trans people to have everyone be trans. Well, that's it, to have predators identify. Well, actually, instead of saying it the way, I'll put the words that she used. She said it's damaging to trans people not to call out the fake trans people. Predatory. Okay, so let me put that as, imagine if we had some middle ground. People don't think it'll be like it is, but it do. I've been listening for a while and I'm still lost. I haven't really seen any points made yet. We've had some, Nico, you're right. There aren't that many. Here are the points. If we're just looking at the diagram, if we want to go to the diagram, points made are these double things over here. This is like the arguments made points, right? So here we go. If we go here, that's in terms of summarizing. We've got, okay, so we had evidence. Here's an evidence one, viral video of a man. Basically the one that the main prompt is about is safety a concern for trans women? It is safety concern for trans women, so male to female, to share a restroom with females. So it is a safety issue. The agreement is not that, oh, it's a safety issue because that means women are just in danger in general. It's the people that self-identify. Trans women aren't the problem. It's people that self-identify in order to be predatory. And the example that is used is the viral video of a guy with a boner in the ladies' room, just watching the woman. But then this person protects themselves by saying, no, I identify as a woman. Blair went to the guys' toilet. Okay, that's another point. That being said, there's the other extreme to consider, that once you have transitioned, you are passable. So you will make somebody else uncomfortable in the same way by being in the in the supposed correct sex bathroom. Then some of the points that were made that were agreed upon is passability determines how you are harassed in the bathroom. So if you pass, maybe you won't be harassed. You probably won't be harassed if you just pass and you're normal looking. Who cares about one solution is everybody minds their own business. That would be great. But the point is there is still a lack of safety. What else? There was questions of whether that is actually happening, that the people are taking advantage of self ID. We have police. We have to police transness to protect women. That's the whole point. That's the main thing. Is we need to. The main point is we just need to get the perverts out of this. But nobody hooked onto that. You're right. There is no point otherwise. Thanks for the recap of the points. Somewhat recap of points, but yeah. Appreciate you making me go through and find them, because I need to know that my diagram is actually helping me. Because it's all about me. Blossom dismisses. So yeah, another one is not differentiate trans. So I think this is the main point of the whole thing. Not differentiating real trans people from predators is damaging to trans people. That is why they need to call this out. Hello, that is the main point. But instead, we're going to talk about all this kind of stuff. So let's see where this goes. I wonder if we get a new point after this point. Let's see.
Talking about restrooms as a trans non-binary person. When I go into a place that only has men's and women's restrooms and I'm dressed like this, my choice to go into the men's restroom at that point puts me in danger.
6 years ago, when I was transitioning.
That is the worst cut. What happened? I wonder if something happened. Oh God, I need to timestamp that. Hold on. Fuck. I need to put this in red. That's the only time I've noticed a really bad cut. 11. Let's say 05. That puts me in danger. Then Alexander talks about being in danger. Being in danger dressed as into he is putting himself at risk, but he will make women. So so in this case, this is a good question. What happens to him? Because we don't want him to be beaten up, but also women don't want to be uncomfortable. But this person is so very obviously not. I don't know. You would still. No, he very much is trying to, and I say he because literally that's a man. What would you do in this situation? You would he's more in danger by going into the male bathroom, which is sad. But I can see a woman screaming and thinking that this person is trying to identify a certain way and being freaked out. But then it becomes the responsibility of the woman, which is what Andrew was talking about, is the shared responsibility between society and individual, where the woman is supposed to give them the benefit of the doubt, and just say, well, that person is very, very different. Clearly, they are safer in here with us than with the men, which is sad. And you are allowed in. I don't know. Quite an interesting conversation we could have had, but that's why I'm pissed off that they cut poop at home, shit at your house like everyone else. Dicks are dangerous. I think the confusion comes into the word passable, because passable doesn't necessarily mean pretty. There's a lot of passable women who are disgusting. That is true. That is very true. But yeah, that could have been a discussion we can talk about. What is possible? That's such a interesting thing to talk about with trans people. Like that's it's a huge thing for them. Hello, it's the whole point of transitioning, being socially. What? Hello. Okay, but we're not talking about that. Instead, we're gonna have this massive cut. Like, I just think it's then massive cut. Like, I honestly think that that's a problem. I'm unhappy about it. Boo, boo. Future Chinsia, future Kitty. Pay attention to what Blair says. This cut. Okay, that is. I'll put that here, and both of you guys will get a red outline. Okay, cool. So we have things. We have homework. Okay, let's go. It could be so. Wow, we're there. So now this is. Do we get her name?
Transitioned almost 8 years ago.
In danger.
Jessica.
6 years ago, when I've transitioned almost 8 years ago, but 6 years ago, it was never an issue for me to use the women's room. Girls would literally drag me in there with them and say, "Girl, you need to be in our bathroom."
Wow. This actually would have been great with Sarah's point, because this damaging to trans people thing, that it was 6 years ago, it was okay for Jessica over here to go to the bathroom. Jessica was in there. I would be like, oh, okay, that is probably a trans woman, but come on in, honey. Like, you're allowed. You're functioning as a female. You're not whipping it out in front of everyone, and you would probably be mortified if anyone saw. Like, there is societal stuff that's happening here. So and you're encouraging those people that are intolerant by not pointing out when people are badly behaved. It just doesn't make sense. So how do I go here? This is not middle ground, is it? I don't know. Just keep going over here to talk. Jessica. And figure out how I structure this. I'll leave it as it is, but I'll let my brain go to sleep tonight and see if I want to change this between now and the next time I visit this debate. Okay, Jessica. If trans person feels awkward in the restroom, it's reasonable to think a different thinker may also feel awkward. So the question is, who's the one who needs to make allowances? Yeah, who is the one who needs to make allowances? Is case by case basis. Who is in the most danger, but then who are we valuing more? Who's the weaker? Who's the physically weaker person? Is the female? The female doesn't need to make allowances. So physically stronger male, yeah. This is the conversation that they need to be having. Who needs to make the allowances? How do we make the allowances? Maybe if we're both sides are trying to make allowances for each other, while at the same time looking out for some perverts. No, this is not going to eliminate the problem. This is not going to eliminate the problem, but it could make it better. So you're right, Rizales. I have to smoke 9 kg for pork belly and feed the family before going to work. Take care, everyone. Love you guys. Bye, Lucifer. Enjoy. And keep space for me on the farm. I mean, I don't know what I'll do. I'm highly uncoordinated and incompetent, but I'll try. Okay, Jessica. 6 years ago, it was never an issue for me to use the women's room. Girls would literally drag me in there with them. Okay. 6 years ago, not a problem. Jessica. This is actually an example. So And actually, I would say this is actually an example. This difference is an example of how, what do you call it? An example of how, of what Sarah was talking about. Not gatekeeping transness makes it worse for real trans people. Okay, this would have been a greater example, but I don't think we talk about it in that context. I think we just hear Jessica out.
And I was like, I felt uncomfortable back then. I don't pass. I know I don't pass. So that's a me problem. And I'm not going to turn my fear of being attacked in the men's room into a woman's problem. It's still.
That's quite amazing. I was like, holy shit. But that made me sad. I was like, no, you pass enough. Like, I would worry about her in the men's bathroom, because actually the men's bathroom is quite a hostile place, and it seems like men are way more hostile towards women, men trying to be women. They are really offended by them. So this made me very sad as well. I was just like, you're not just a man in a dress. I would feel a bit embarrassed questioning this person. Yeah, maybe the voice, but I would feel embarrassed myself trying to tell this person to leave. Yeah. Pee on each other to establish dominance. That'll be good. Who the hell is spending so much time in public restrooms that this is actually an issue? Just shit and get out. You know what? It would be actually, yeah. Also, if it was just, if we had just stalls that everybody had privacy in that stall, and there was no need, there was no need to be in separate rooms at all. Maybe that, I don't know. Is that a solution? Is unisex bathrooms a solution? No gaps. Exactly. That is it. Please, no gaps, America. Jesus. So yeah, this was really sad. But this, Sarah does say this is passing is a me problem. One of the most powerful things she says here is, I know I don't pass, but I respect women enough. I respect women enough to not to make my fear of being attacked their problem. That's you see, there's people that are thinking that way, and then you're just like, here, honey, come, I will trust you. Unisex bathrooms suck. There's always a long line of women. I couldn't use the one at university because the wait was too long. Yeah. There is such a difference between the women's bathroom line and the men's bathroom line. It's true. It would be so convenient if there was technology that could just teleport your poop from our bowels to the toilet while we were just sitting. Yeah, there is reason building codes require 2 to 3 bathrooms for women. Yeah, women, we're a problem, and we also need mirrors to stand in front of for a long time. Men are in and out. Okay, passing is a me problem. Respect women enough not to make a fear of being attacked their problem. This is quite a big thing for me. I'm just like, yeah, I still don't worry about her safety and want to talk about making her safe. Where is the middle ground? Middle ground, please. But no, we don't have that. And yeah, I would just prefer I think she passes enough. Honey, sweetie, baby child. What more do you want? I don't know. And also there's a way of just being in the bathroom. But yeah, she has imposed this upon herself.
Still a me problem, so I need to work on myself.
Also, going to the bathroom with someone else, that's especially females, going with your friend to the bathroom would make it a whole lot easier, because basically what you're doing by having your chaperone, your friend there, your friend is basically vouching for you to say, listen, my friend is transitioning. My friend is not here to just look at your boobies. Okay? It is kind of a way around it. And then people go, oh, well, that shouldn't be the way it should be. Oh, trans women should be able to go to the bathroom by themselves. Yeah, women can't go to the bathroom by themselves. They don't like doing that. It's a thing. We're scared to do it. So it could be just part of an adaptation that we do, that we bring each other with, that you go to the bathroom. Like, my trans friend came to the bathroom with me. It was not a big deal at all. That doesn't... Yeah. Interesting. You have mirrors? Yeah, we have mirrors. I use the handicap stall unapologetically. You're so based. You're so based. You have the best name for your kind of life, Patrick. Okay, let's go.
And it sucks. Does it suck? Yes, it sucks. I don't pass. I know I don't pass, but I still respect women enough, and some trans people aren't capable of handling themselves against a man, but I am confident in my ability to do that. And not everybody can. I get that, but it's just now. 6 years ago, I used to use the women's room. Now I don't, because women have spoke out. They've come out and said, we're not comfortable. There's too many self-ID'd people out there just taking advantage. And I choose to use the men's room to protect them.
I
can definitely actually almost empathize with a lot of trans women in their experience in the bathroom. And
okay, Shane can empathize with trans women in their bathroom. So Shane has got something else. We got to cut. There's nothing. So I think we got to cut.
A lot of the
I choose to use the men's room to protect them.
I can definitely actually almost empathize with a lot of trans women in their experience in the...
That's it. We got to I choose. Let me just go to 12. That's about 12. 12:10. I choose to use the men's bathroom to protect women. Cut. So yeah, we just go. That's it. What about trans men? That's what we want to hear from Shane about. And Shane also says something that actually gives us a bit more insight.
In the bathroom, I can definitely actually almost empathize with a lot of trans women in their experience in the bathroom, and a lot of the turmoil with going in. And
of course, nobody is. That's the thing. That could have been what we talk about, the turmoil. The middle ground is the turmoil of going in, because this is like the test of possibility. That's like a huge thing. Can you imagine the first time somebody who's transitioning goes to the opposite bathroom? Like when you were a kid and you went to bathrooms, you never had to think about that. You just went to where you were supposed to go. But this is now a conscious, hopefully adult person making the decision to go to the other bathroom because they are trying to present as something that they are physically not, but they're trying to present as it and trying to act as that. And it's the first time that they're going there. That's a big deal. It's a big, scary, scary thing that they have to do. And why don't we talk about that? And how much the self-ID person who just walks in with a wig and how much of an outrage is that this person that just goes, oh, I identify as a woman. You're downgrading all of this. You're downgrading all of that turmoil because how dare you? You're just trying to get your rocks off. You're using all of this. Come on, it makes so much sense. Why can you not police your people? Okay, so Shane is is empathizing with turmoil. Women going into the women's bathroom. Okay. Empathizing with the turmoil. Cool. We could have spoken about this. Could have spoken more about this. And how self-ID people are despicable or taking advantage of real trans people issues. Okay, we could have spoken about that, but no. So maybe we would want a moderator to ask, instead of just prompting, we would want them to ask more questions around this. It would be great. Anyway.
Especially with passability, but the layer that I feel like in the conversation that's missing here is actually trans men. And also the fact that
oh my God, the clicking. Stop!
Was born biologically female, and a lot of the things that trans women experience of violence in the bathroom is what I experienced as a child. So the reason why my education here is not necessarily to create an idea that I need to conform to Eurocentric standards. Myself, I'm a 6 foot tall trans.
There's a weird cut there.
Trans man size, an idea that I need to conform to Eurocentrics, not necessarily to create an idea that I need to conform to Eurocentric standards. Myself, I'm a 6 foot tall trans man, size 13 shoe. So
I'm just going to put another note here of the 1240, just 42 strange cut. Just noting it. In my opinion, they can't police their own people because for them, LGBT is a tribal thing. Yeah, you can't question it, but it's like that is what you need to do. They're so scared that questioning something means you hate it, or questioning something is criticizing anything about the LGBT is the same as hating them. That's not how it works. That's not how that is. Or like it will encourage hate if you just criticize. Instead, actually, what it would do is make people actually help with this normalization, which is what actually we want. Normalization and assimilation of groups that are not really normal, that they are not part of the usual. So we need to become aware of them and understand that not everything is a threat. Cool. Yeah. The tresses look an Amazon from us. What? The transes took an Amazon from us. Yeah. They did take an Amazon. Yeah, we had an Amazon. No, shame. But yeah, there's this very large woman.
So I to Eurocentric standards. Myself, I'm a 6 foot tall trans man,
actually,
size
I think
13
one thing I
shoe.
could notice over here is the woman's empathizes because empathizes was born a female, so experienced a lot of what trans women experience in women's bathrooms. This implies to me that people I'm going to put here, people thought she was a man, a boy. So people obviously were like, get out of here. So she got that sort of feeling just from being a woman, and then now she turned into a he and became a man, and you can see that actually fits him very well.
So I don't fit into the Eurocentric standards of what a woman is, and I never did as a child.
Did not fit did not fit in as a woman as a child. So as a child, did not look like a female child. Well, I'm gonna say when he was a child. I don't know the pronouns. When this person was a child, they were a she. Okay.
I was, bullied relentlessly for this and isolated from many spaces. So this discussion about trans women being in the restroom also affects biological women, because guess what? Biological women come in all shapes and sizes. There are, a lot of lesbian women that deal with this issue that I've.
So this is bringing the thing in, the sensitivity of this making everybody question everybody else's motives for being in the bathroom. That makes this even more difficult. So back in the day, when Shane was a girl child, back in the day, there was bullying and get the fuck out because you're a boy and you shouldn't be in the girls' room. Okay, so there was that sort of bullying. But now that the trans narrative comes in, that makes it even worse for biological women that are not trans. You can be a biological woman that is butch, and a biological woman that now must be pushed out of my bathroom because of the trans ideology. If I'm a tomboy, am I now going to be people going to start saying no? Like she's just brought up lesbians here, so people are uncomfortable with lesbians in the bathroom. It's just like, oh, what? Because no, the lesbians are going to be checking me out. Like that's clearly what young Shane dealt with. It's quite a nuanced thing. Did not fit in a woman. Got it. Stop. Eurocentric. Yeah, Eurocentric apparently is, I think what Shane means here is Western, which is just like, actually no, biologically women are smaller. That's not Western. That's just everything. Women are smaller. Anyway, so yeah, when she was a child, born female, so experience a lot of what trans women experience. So yes, you need the trans discussion still affects biological women. Lesbians who don't look feminine. This is such a good point that we could have gone on with. And if there's more footage that they didn't put in for this, I would be very upset. Like, why? I would love to see it. Just see all of this this apparently are like 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so let's go.
Related with and empathize, because we both get pulled out of the restroom and thrown, and guys try to beat us up because we're in a restroom with women. And then on top of it, to add that layer that it's not even being discussed in any mainstream, that this is just completely wiped out, and that you're standing up for women, but you're not standing up for women children. You're not standing up for biological females that are children. You're only standing up for what really affects you. And it's
You're only standing up for what really affects you, not standing up for biological female children. Only standing up what affects you. So this is not to say that Shane's solution would be the same as, say, Blair's solution or Sarah's solution, any of that. It's actually just that this is a completely missing a discussion that's missing, that bringing about all this suspicion about who's in this could be used as a point against the conservative talking point of, whoa, making it a question, or figuring out who goes to which bathroom instead of making it all one bathroom or something like that. That is affecting people that don't pass, even though they are biologically that sex. It doesn't necessarily have to be supporting of the conservative. This is actually the most middle ground that we get, because it could go both ways. You could use this in both arguments. Interesting.
Kind of sad that the idea that passability is you need to work on your transition. A lot of folks, especially in our community, have no access to finances, resources, jobs to even get their foot in the door to get access to hormones. So you're putting all of these barriers just for them to be able to go to the restroom, which is a natural thing that we all have to do. So what do I need to do? Piss outside? Because that's how I was treated my entire childhood.
Okay, so that is, it's not that this is now going towards the conservative talking point. This is like a kind of completely different problem that he's bringing up. And trans is paid to win. Oh my God, that is true, Cameron, because he's saying you're making the solution. So the solution that Blair wanted is work on your transition, but then the thing is, well, transitioning isn't accessible to everyone. So what do we do? What do we do then? So we've come to an impasse here that it's not about the not everybody can transition very well. Okay, but what safeguards do we then have? If you're attacked in the bathroom by somebody who's claiming to be trans, what happens then? What happens to that person? How do we interrogate that case? That's kind of where we have to go, because we're going to have to hope that nobody gets attacked ever. But the place that it becomes relevant is when these attacks occur. Then, because we're erring on the side of acceptance. I'm fading. Okay, so we need to finish this. Layer in the conversation is missing. To create an idea that don't lesbian woman discussed mainstream is that's completely wiped out, that you're standing up for women, only standing when it affects you. You need to work on your transition. Okay, so if solution is well, basically this will be the argument. Solution is not working on, not just working, can't be just working on your transition, because not everyone has access to transitioning well. Okay, the possibility. So possibility is difficult. Coming back to the possibility is difficult thing. So that means that there is a barrier. Possibility is a barrier to using the restroom. So I would ask, and I would want to know, what would your solution be then? Because you clearly want some sort of change. You clearly want some sort of protection for people. So what's your solution? Oh God, imagine if we spoke about that. That would be great. Anyway, sleep stream. Oh, I don't have the chest for a sleep stream. Here you go. That's this one. No, that's this is. There we go. Ta-da. And border. There we go. Okay, possibilities, barrier to using the restroom. Cool. Now what?
I just feel like when this whole topic comes up, like it obviously goes back to like there's dudes.
Oh my God, Sasha, I'm sorry. Sasha is a problem. Sasha is likesville. Maybe they're they're scared, or not comfortable in this group. So the likes are turned up, but listen to the amount of likes we get here, people. It's insane. Okay. Speaking of which, like the stream, please. And subscribe if you've just come around. Maybe you'll enjoy the rest of what happens on this this channel. On Thursdays we do panel discussions where the people in chat basically are the ones that join me. And it's not just me yelling at chat. It's me yelling at friends and chat. Okay. Back to we're finishing this, boys and girls. And days.
Dudes like jerking off in the bathroom, and like to me,
Oh,
like when
the likes I
obviously goes
can't.
back to like there's dudes like jerking off. I just feel like when this whole topic comes up, like it obviously goes back to like there's dudes like jerking off in the bathroom, and like to me, like when I hear that, I'm like, okay, like, but that's not trans women. So when we talk about this conversation, and it seems like the fear is like literally cisgender straight men who are being creeps, and what sucks is cis straight men can be like creepy, and then it's like trans women, trans men are like paying the price for that. And I feel like, you know what, that's what's really hard about it, is because then I think people get the idea, or some people have the belief trans women are just like, they're just men in dresses, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like for so many trans women and so many trans men, the safest place for them is the bathroom that aligns with their gender. And if you go to a place where it's illegal to do that, or you have to go and like, what's your ID or like your birth certificate, it puts you in an objectively unsafe situation. And for me, like, I'm like, if I walk in the women's room, I mean, I know I like look like a lot, like I look 12, but like I feel like someone be like, get out of here, you know what I mean? But like, that's the vibe. Like, I think
That's the vibe. My God. Welcome, Gen Z. The difference between cis men and trans men is cis men are creepy. He is like a very affectionate person. He likes like a lot. Kitty energy bar is low. Yeah, I need an energy bar. But and this was not the best time for this Sasha person to come in, because my brain's like, sorry. Now I'm just gonna notice every time I say like. Jesus. It's just a lot. Okay? Sasha. Like. No, I'll just take it out. Sasha, cis men are creepy, and trans women and trans men have to. This is a good middle ground, I would say. It's yes. Can we talk about the creepiness? Okay? And what you're trying to say here is people, like he did say here,
you got, I feel like someone, for me, like I'm like, if I were a birth certificate, it puts you in an objectively unsafe situation.
That unsafe situation, let's talk more about that. But there's that's it. That's just the point. They have to pay the price. This could have been how do we navigate? We're too busy going, oh wait, that's the wrong color. Sorry. We're too busy trying to get the gotchas, copy style. Yeah. And another one. Oh wait, this could have been, I'm gonna actually just put could have been middle ground discussion. But no, instead we're gonna go on to the first thing that this person did, the first thing that Sasha did was say, when we talk about this issue, people go to the guys that are in the bathroom with a boner. Yes. That is what we're talking about. But that is damaging. So what Sarah was saying is we need to call that out and say that is not us. And what he has said is, well, that's cis men. Yeah. Okay. So that would have been it. That would have been it. it's the calling out that is a problem. What's wrong with it? What's wrong with calling this out as that's not a trans person, that is a pervert. But then asking for ID puts you in an unsafe situation. So that is a separate argument over here as well. Asking for ID, going to the other bathroom puts you in an objectively less safe position. So then we go back to what Jessica was talking about, where she says, well, I don't care. I would rather the woman feel safe. But now then it goes back to this discussion of whose safety is more important. Who makes the concessions? This would have been interesting conversation to have, but we don't have that. Ideally we would want everyone to be safe, right? So what is that? I don't have the solution. But it seems like everybody has to take responsibility for their actions.
And for me, like, I'm like, if I walk in the women's room, I mean, I know I like look like a lot, like I look 12, but like I feel like someone would be like, get out of here, you know what I mean? But like, that's the vibe. Like, I think
that's the vibe.
You got to remember, like, when we're talking about it, and we're talking about like these creepy dudes, like in the bathroom.
Here's the middle ground. Here's the middle ground. Y'all ready? We're gonna be so happy with this. This is the middle ground. We all actually agree. It's men that are the problem. Yep. It's not trans women.
Thank you.
Trans women. However, the problem is our community has really eroded any barriers to actually being trans, in the sense of your average cross-dresser can identify as a trans woman.
But then it's not a trans woman.
Well,
that's exactly what she's trying to say. Okay, there we go. I want to actually, I'll move all of this. Sorry, this needs to move out. All of this, we need to move everything over here, up here. You go up here. All of you go up here. But nobody wants to agree with Blair. But it's okay. Just moving everything over here because I was gung-ho. Oopsie. Everybody move. Move your ass. There you go. Okay, middle ground. Courtesy of Blair White. And yes, I'm a Blair White stan, so get out if you don't like Blair. Or you know what, stick around and argue with me. It'll be fine. We're not going to be on for that much longer. Middle ground. Blair. Our community. Illegal to do that, or you'd have to go like, do your birth certificate. It puts you in objectivity. Look like 12, like. Here's the middle ground. Here's the middle ground. Y'all ready? We're gonna be so happy with this. This is the middle ground. We all actually agree. It's men are the problem. It's not trans women, real trans women. However, the problem is community. I'll put it exactly. Average cross-dresser can identify as a trans woman. Ta-da! Oh yeah, that's gonna go away now. Men, it's men. Is that men are the problem? Real trans women. The problem is our community has really eroded any barriers to actually being trans. Your average cross-dresser can identify as a trans woman. And then Sasha's out here like, oh, then it's not a trans woman. And it's like, exactly, you have got it. Ding, ding, ding. Well done.
I'm
Well-
glad you feel that way. I feel that way as well. I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, with the state of the political correctness within the trans community, you can't really say that. Like that
Wait, I
person
think wait, so is this person
and
saying
their
they're a
self-ID.
cross-dresser?
Yes, the person is saying that they are trans, and just by virtue of them saying they're trans, that means hands off. We can't criticize them. That is what we're trying to say.
No,
actually
they
agree-
say that they're trans, but
I
they're a
actually
cross-dresser.
I actually do agree with you, Blair, 100%.
take mine back.
Because
Wow.
that's one of those things. Yeah, I told you, I'm
Let's
really
go.
like that.
Oh my God.
And the reason why I say that is because sometimes
We got
when
Blossom
we
to agree.
self-identify, some people can take advantage of that, and
Yes.
that is
There you
something,
go.
unfortunately, that we cannot control.
We cannot control it. How do we can't control people anywhere. So how do we mitigate all of these factors? If we have a discussion, we could try and figure out how we mitigate these things, but there's no solution. You can't possibly agree with Blair Nazi White. My ex-friends will block me. Yeah, sorry. Don't agree. Don't. You're gonna have to block me now, Nico. Just block. If you disagree with me. No, if you disagree with me about Blair, yet you still follow me, it means you agree. Anyway, being average cross-dresser can identify as a trans woman. And yes, okay, we do actually have the middle ground. Blossom agrees. I'm actually going to put Blossom over here. Let's get it. There's one over here somewhere. There you go. Copper style. Okay, and then we actually have Blossom. People can take advantage of self-ID. We can't control that. I think that is like a separate thing. We can't control that. Okay, they can't control that. Then what? Now this is where it's gonna fall off, because Blossom's probably, I don't know what Blossom's gonna do with this. We can't control that.
But we have to combat it with facts.
We have to combat. You know what you combat it with, as well, with culture and gatekeeping, where you say, "Oh, ho, ho, honey, no, that's not gonna work." Like, that's it. By standing up and saying that is not a real trans person. That is how you combat it. You don't control people. No, of course. But the only thing that we can actually do is inhibit each other with norms. It's the only thing we actually land up doing. That's what society is figuring out rules amongst ourselves. So now she's just going to go facts research. That's what? That's a cop-out. What facts and research? What let's go into the if then statements that you're going to come up with. Facts and research, okay?
With research and with the information that's presented in front of us.
Okay, so her solution is combat it with research and facts. I want to know how. This research would work, how this research would work. What questions do we ask? Like, I want to know these things. If this is the solution, if your solution is research, which I'm often very game for research, don't worry. Let's do this. Especially if you're going to make a diagram at the end of it that actually doesn't look as chaotic as this. Could we? So we're going to combat this. Sounds very buzzwordy to me from Blossom.
It seems like we're the ones that's teaching everybody else because we live in a predominant cis world.
So then here's another talking point. combat it with research and facts. We're teaching the world about transness. This is world, basically. Predominantly. Yes. Okay. But the discussion here is the way that you're teaching people about transness, it's actually not effective, because what you're doing is not demonizing the right people. You're not demonizing the demons. You're saying, no, they're ours. It's fine, because they said they're part of us. That's what you're doing. That's the problem here. But you're just deciding this is not how I'm gonna hear it. They do agree on that. They do agree on that, Nico.
We're teaching them about us. And I just really think we cannot afford to be intellectually dishonest.
Intellectually dishonest. That is wow. That the irony. Oh my god, we can't afford to be That's incredible. I forgot that she even said this. Wow. They agree on the problem but have different solutions. I don't think that their solution. Okay, they agree on the problem that like cis men are the problem. It's normal creepy men that are a problem, but they don't define. They keep the problem outside of themselves. That they're trying to. Because I don't want to say their solutions are the only thing that differ. It's the way they perceive the problem. They agree it's a problem, but the way they perceive the problem, which will be the reason that they have different solutions, if you know what I'm saying. So if they perceive a problem differently, they're going to think its solution is different. So yeah, they agree on the problem, but they see it differently. Interesting. And teaching us, are they teaching us or telling us? Because there's a huge difference. Oh, interesting, Patrick. The irony of this. The irony. Because seriously, you're being intellectually dishonest by pretending that this over here, this was intellectually dishonest. This an actor could do that. It's just a talking point for conservatives. You're being intellectually dishonest. You're not. Why can't you just call it out and say that's a bad thing? Because you're being intellectually dishonest. Okay. Take a photo. We can control that. So this I will change to this one. Copy down. Because this is something they agree upon, but they split off here in terms of the solution. So I'm actually going to say that, Nico, they agree problem but disagree on the solution. Yeah. And then I will add my bit there that they see the problem differently. They see the problem differently. So their solutions differ. Okay, continue with your speech, Blossom. Preach.
About our experiences as trans people.
There is something that I think we can do. There's solutions to this. Like I do think that something like you have to be on hormones or something like that for 2 years or something before you can even change your ID, like across the board. That would eliminate the cross-dressers from being able to go there, because then you can say, hey, my ID says this, and you can, and so it shows that you've actually taken steps. It's not about passability. It's about how long you've actually been taking the steps to transition.
There we go. That is one solution there. And yeah, the ID, obviously that goes back to what Sasha was saying. Sasha was saying that no, that's a problem because you are then objectively unsafe. But the actual thing that somebody can check your ID and see, so if you go and attack someone, somebody can check your ID and see that you weren't transitioning for a certain period. You aren't a real trans person. That defense is no longer available to you. That is a deterrent to predators. You're taking away the meta of I identify as. You're taking that away. You're making it harder for a predator to operate, which, you know what? Thank you, Sarah, for giving us some sort of solution. So here, I'm actually going to put Sarah's thing over here. This is Sarah's solution. Sarah's solution, how long? Only to change your ID after amount of time transition, working towards transition. Not about passability. I think that's kind of it's as close as we can get. I'll just say making it less palatable for a predator to try bathroom shenanigans. Okay. Guys, we finished the first prompt. Yeah. This over here. I love Sarah. Sarah's the best. Okay. There we go. Cool. We did the first prompt. Woohoo! Okay, so let's see. This is 307 lines. If I'm looking at the notepad here for prompt 1, let's see. Okay, right over here. 313. 5. Okay, prompt 3 is going to take us a long time. Prompt 4 is going to be shorter. Prompt 5 is a little bit shorter. So prompt 3 is the longest one. Although let's check out prompt. Oh, shit. Anyway, I've saved them. Don't worry. That's why I didn't say, are you sure? Anyway, let us have a look at this and see if we can rate the interactions here. Okay, so the evidence bit. Okay, so the arguments presented. Let's see. How many minutes we got? We've got like 10 minutes. It's fine. Wouldn't be an issue if people had listened to me years ago and started the trend of ball cleavage. Yeah, that's so attractive, Patrick. Let that sit. Okay. So the agree so the people that agree are saying it's a safety concern for trans women to share the female restroom. Okay. The people that agree say it's a safety concern. That is all that you are actually conceding, is that it's a concern. You're not saying that now everybody needs to be penis checked at the door. You're not saying any of that. You're saying it's a concern. It's a safety concern. It's something that we need to think about. That's all that you're trying to say when you agree, when you do this agree part. So what the main point there was, trans women aren't the problem, self-ID is the problem. That's what we actually got. Okay? Self-ID is the problem. And guess what? That is what we got to at the end. Self-ID is the problem. So we actually did both these two things. They come full circle eventually. That it's the creepy men are a problem. But where they disagree is Blair is saying that there is you've taken away barriers so predators can walk in. That is it. It's actually such a lot that is said just to make this one point. This is an example that they use why it is a safety concern is you get predators in the bathroom. So we waste a whole bunch of time talking about possibility and this and that being a thing. But what we actually needed to talk about is how do we possibility clearly isn't good enough because some predators will pass. Or how do we navigate this possibility discussion? How do we navigate all of this? And we still came back down here. We spent a whole lot of time talking about who's more oppressed than who, and who gets to be comfortable and who doesn't in the bathroom. Goes back to plausibility discussion. I'm actually going to make an elbow here. There we go. It's real life. I think I'm going to make these things a lot thicker. We should get illegals to guard the bathrooms. Then we would have predators versus aliens. Oh my god. Okay. That is the last commentary thing I'm going to put here. Hold on. That is a brilliant, brilliant line. Patrick, you're hilarious. Based laugh. That is hilarious. I think that's actually where I will end it off. Okay. I am done with that. And I will endeavor, ladies and gentlemen, I will endeavor to write a bit of a Substack on this first bit, because that was something I picked up when we debate diagram. Those ones where I did a little summary article thingy write up afterwards, I really enjoyed that. So it would be good if I do a bit of a write up, and I will share that in the comments below. Yeah, great job, Kitty. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much, Patrick, for coming through. Oh, memes, Nico, you got memes. Oh, thanks, Nico. Nico's got memes. I will not, Nico. Just so you know, if you're not here to tell me there's memes, I'm not going to check. So let's find them. Just hold on. I will get them. Discord is saying, oh yeah, I will put this in the description. Just hold on. Okay, you're saved. Memes. We've got 2 memes on the darn Discord. Or 1 meme. No, several. There we go. Wait, we've got one from Cameron. Okay, so it's open in browser. Let me go. Okay, and I'll open this one in browser as well. Open link. Let's do that one. I'm just making sure I'm opening them all. Open link. Okay. I'm gonna enjoy this. Let us add to the screen. Beware the gap. That's what I'm saying. This is not okay. Why do you need hinges that are this? This was from Cameron. No, like what the hell? Why? This is not a thing. Okay, America. Stop it. Get some help. Whoops. Trying to poop slow because the guy next door is watching. He's watching you, so you go, no, stop it. This is America. It's a problem. I'm speaking. Oh, we haven't even gotten to it, guys. In the next, I think it's the next prompt. Don't interrupt a black trans woman while she's speaking. That is that'll be the highlight for the next stream. Kids are sneakily changing stream days. It's not a it's not a permanent change, but it seems like enough people could come around on a Wednesday. So if this does work for people, that I don't know, we'll consider it. But yeah, very nice. I look nice with a hat. The rest of the world must have so little sense of community. What? Because there's no gap. Jeez. Nico, thank you for the memes. Cameron, thank you for the memes. America, no. I do not. Oh yes, and thank you, Daddy J Mag, for the $20. That's big love. Thank you so much. And yeah, thanks everybody for coming through on the Wednesday. Goodbye, y'all. Good stream. Thanks, Nico. Good to see you again. Nico. Sorry, there's two Nicos. You guys use the communal sponge to clean though, right? You're not weird. No, we're not weird at all. Anyway, so let us have a look. I'll do a proper goodbye. Look, I'm in the cat. Yeah. This is me saying thank you for coming along. Have a look at the diagram the next time you just go and join the Discord, because there's the diagram links there. Also join the Substack, because I'm going to be working on the Substack, so you can get a little write up if you really care. Like if you've been here for the stream, you know what I'm going to write. So, but yeah. Yep, other have wrench. Not to my knowledge. Yeah. Anyway, yes, tomorrow, guys, come along. It is. Thank you for reminding me. Tomorrow is Thursday, not Friday. Tomorrow, yes, come along. We are doing the thinkers. We're gonna have a think on something. I'm going to see if Warren will be able to come. Warren from Rosales' stream, to see if he will be able to discuss with us about girls in gaming and the dynamics of that. Girls in gaming, because he experienced some interesting phenomena with girls and interacting with them online from gaming. Ending poll, I'm glad that 58% of the people that were around here have not made eye contact or been able to see people through the stall door. America, seek help. Anyway, have a nice life. And yeah, just remember to okay, thanks, bye. Subscribe. But okay, thanks, bye. Okay, thanks, bye.
Go and subscribe.
Go and
subscribe, you shit.
One more time.
Go and subscribe.
Go and
subscribe, you shit.
Okay, goodbye.